All right, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's election stream. Uh, hold on one second. Let me make sure I got all of my stuff off here. All right, great. Welcome to tonight's special election in Texas. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. Decided to come on a few minutes early because I wanted to address some things before we start. So, as you know, I've talked about that I'm going to be taking a break for a while from this channel, and that's true. I am going to be taking a break for a while, and the reason why is that right now, there are two things going on. One, I have a channel about election history, and I need to focus more on that channel than I need to focus on this channel. As a matter of fact, in the chat right now, Daniel Sun 5576, he is the Patreon producer of this week's video. I just released a video about the history of Alabama. If you want to go to that channel, it's just election history. Just Google search election history and search it on YouTube and you'll get there. That's where I need to focus most of my attention. My video that I released today already has 5,000 views, over 1,000 watch hours when it comes to my watch hours and stuff like that. And it's been out, it's been out for about 7 hours now. I do not get that with this channel. So therefore, this is the reason why I'm taking a break from the Voting Trend channel. That's the first reason. Now, I did mention on there that what I'm doing is I need to spend all attention on that history channel before I come back to this channel. So my goal, my hope, is to build up enough videos that I have enough made out into the future, and then I can come back and do this. So, I don't want people to think that this channel is gone or anything. No, it's just that is where the priority is right now. There's nothing really going on electorally. The only way that I might shift, so I might talk about elections in other countries. I want to talk about the Hungarian election coming up and so on. So there might be that. But I just wanted to give you that. I just wanted to give you the, what's going on. So just right now, the History Channel is let me get this up more over here. The History Channel is my highest priority. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and look. So we have today's race, and I decided to come on a little bit early because I don't know how quickly the election results are going to come up. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and delve into the district a little bit and see what we have, what we should maybe expect tonight, and so on. So we are here on Dave's Redistricting, and we are going to be in the 9th Senate District. So this is all within Tarrant County, which is a key county for Democrats to win. If they plan on winning in the state of Texas statewide, they need to really improve in Tarrant County. This is one of those places they need to flip. And it's a Senate 9 district where they need to really flip because a lot of this area is Republican. Now, it does include a lot of Fort Worth here. Let's see. Let me take off. Can I take off the precinct lines? Looks like the precinct lines are on, but they're not on. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if we go into there, we can see that a lot of Fort Worth, most of the northern part is in the district, but the most Democratic part is not in the district, and that is down here. So this is basically your Democratic part of the district. But then as you get out more, there's an Air Force base over here. The Fort Worth airport's here, but when we get out toward the Air Force base, it gets a little bit more Republican, and more Republican. The colors you see here for the precincts are the presidential election results. So you can see a lot of very, very close precincts here. Now, this out here, we have Fort Worth here. This might look like it's a little bit out in the sticks, out in the woods. It really isn't. So we have Keller here, North Richland Hills, and Hearst over here, Halton City. So let me go ahead and show you on the map. Let's go ahead and go to Keller here. So as you can see, Keller on the map here, it's one of the more red areas. And if we go in, it's basically just kind of regular, typical middle class homes. Oh, maybe not that one. I must have gotten into a really nice neighborhood here. So usually, let me go, just kind of homes like this, right? So this is what we usually see in this district, more Republican area, significantly more Republican area, but average homes, average home prices, people having typical cars out there and so on. So um, if you're the Democrats, you want to obviously you want to bring the margins down everywhere, but I think it's going to be the Haltom City right here and the Richland Hills area that matter the most. Because what we see when we look at elections, we are really looking nowadays of an expansion or a contraction when it comes to the Democratic vote. So let me give you two examples. Let's take Chicago, for example. Chicago used to be Cook County, and that was pretty much it back in the late 70s, early 80s. Then it expanded to Lake, it expanded to Will County and so on. Now it's expanded to DuPage County. Now, DuPage County used to be in the 1980s like the Republican county. Like if there was a poster child of what a center-right Republican county was, it was DuPage County. And what's happened is that the Democratic votes have expanded outward. Then you have a place like, let's say, Tampa, where what you're seeing the Democratic vote contract. So the Democrats would do quite well outside of the city, going to Town and Country and other places around Tampa. But now that's starting to collapse in, and you're seeing just the core of Tampa being where the Democrats are strong. So the question is, here in Texas, this state Senate district, and eventually statewide, are they going to work on expanding that core outside of Fort Worth? And if we do look at it, Texas seems to be more of an expansion area than a contraction area. So if you are the Democrats, that does look good. Now, let's go over to Senate District 9. Here you can see the map a little bit clearer here, but I just want to give you an idea of what the last elections were. So Kelly Hancock, who is running for he's running for a statewide position. I think comptroller. Do they have a comptroller? Yeah. He is the acting comptroller right now. So he is running. He's running for comptroller again, but he is the acting comptroller. I'm pretty sure it comes up with the gubernatorial elections and all that in November. So he won 60-40. Okay. And this was in a midterm year. Okay. So this was in 2022. All right. So if you look here, this is the special election that we had earlier. And you had Taylor Ramette win or had the plurality with 47.6% of the vote. That's the reason why we are in this special election, or the special election runoff today. Now, I do want to say that turnout is a good turnout. 118,000. If you look at the turnout we had in the last midterms, 277,000. All right. And then let's go ahead. We're getting ready for the results here. One thing I wanted to mention, because I was doing some research on this district before getting on, and I found this quite interesting, is these are the polling locations today for the district. You see it in English, you see it in Spanish, but you also see it in Vietnamese. So I didn't know there was a huge Vietnamese population here. So that will be a really interesting thing to keep an eye on to see. I don't know where they are. I would have to do more research on that, but post-election, it would be interesting to see. And then, like I said, let's go more into the Richland Hills area, show you what kind of houses we have here. As you can see, just typical middle class, average 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,600 square feet homes. I mean, that's what you have going on today. So we're going to go ahead. We still have 7 minutes until the election starts. Okay, Karen, 12345. Thank you for the super chat. What is the House race in Texas this weekend? There is a House race. Actually, I think it was the last one I had on here, but it's the Democrats, right, against each other. Was this like Al Green's seat? I don't remember. It's going to be a Democratic seat. Obviously, only Democrats can get votes in this, so it's going to be 100% Democratic. So there isn't really anything going on there, right? There's nothing. This is just more of a who's going to get elected type of thing. So what am I looking for today? What should we look for? Let's go back to what we had with the the last midterm that we had here. So we had 277,883 people who voted in that last election. So what does that tell me? That tells me that if you're the Democrats, obviously you have to win tonight. Now with Taylor Ramette getting 47% in the general, that's good. Okay, that's really, really good to build off of. And that was before all the shit went down with, Republicans supporting killing people in the streets and all that. So we're going to see how that affects the election. So obviously the Democrats need to win. But when I want to see if this number of total votes, this number of total votes can get to 150,000. Because if it gets up to 150,000, now you're talking about passing the halfway mark of what the last regular election in the midterm was. So if they're able to do that, that's good. And this is what made the Afton Bain performance so interesting. Yes, it was a 7% swing, and people telling you other swings, they don't know how swings work. It was a 7% swing, but it also had the turnout of a midterm election. So that is very interesting. So we'll see what happens here. I'd like to see, if I'm the Democrats, I would like to see over 50%, which means you win. I mean, it's a runoff, so whoever gets 50% plus one wins. And 150,000. If that is what we get in today's election, then I believe that it will be a good night. And it's something that, again, the Democrats need to really look at and say, at that point, do we put money in Texas? Because I think we are at the point where we have to ask ourselves, let's see. I think we are at the point where we have to ask ourselves, should we put money in Texas or not? I have advocated for not putting money in Texas, and that is because, and I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again, they are huge markets. There was another super chat. Thank you very much, Ji Hao. The Vietnamese population is largest in Haltom City. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So I don't know if they'll have the precinct breakdowns. I didn't see anything on VoteHub regarding them doing the election results. Let me go ahead. They have a write-up on the special election results, but I do not see them actually doing the results. So they have a write-up on it. That's all I see. So if anybody does see that they're going to do something on VoteHub, please go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll talk about that. We have 3 minutes until the polls close, and I want to zoom in. This is why it's so important, okay? Because as you can see here, Tarrant County went 52% for Donald Trump and 47% for Kamala Harris. So, Trump won Texas, but to me, this 56-42 is not that impressive of a number. So let's see what Tarrant County does today, because it is one of those situations that if Tarrant County flips, that's what the Democrats need. So as I've mentioned, in the state of Florida, what Democrats need to do in the state of Florida is they need to fix whatever the hell the problem is in Miami-Dade County. The mayoral election there looks like they might be going in that direction. If you are a Democrat in Texas, you really want to worry about flipping Tarrant County and start getting these margins down in Denton. Tarrant and Denton County, those are your two counties you're going to be wanting to focus on. Sorry, I ate some pizza today, which gives me the coughs. So yeah. And the reason why, and see, a lot of people, and this is the issue when it comes to elections, is that I've already said throw as much money as you can into Alaska, because you're talking about very, very cheap markets when it comes to media markets, right? You can flood the waves there, and you can go ahead and get those ad buys now before the Republicans do. So you have that market. You have Iowa, which is a very cheap media market as well. I still think Iowa is going to be one of those places to watch. You have Maine, that's going to be a very cheap media market as well. Texas is such an expensive media market that it hits a lot. Let's see. Before we get some election results in here, I just want to see if I can. I'm going to just throw this up from Wikipedia that we have here. So we see number 4 media market is Dallas. Number 6 is Houston. Okay, so let's see. So you already have 2 of the top 6 media markets in Texas. Okay, I'm sure Austin, San Antonio will be in here as well. Austin, number 34. And so on. There's a lot of other markets that you would, and these are competitive markets. So it is an issue of, do you want to spend that kind of money in Texas to try to win it? That is it's a lot of money. Okay, you're more likely gonna, and at this time you're more likely to swing. If you're Democrats, you're more likely to swing Alaska. Alaska looks good. And you're talking about somebody who has one statewide, so that's a positive. You have Maine, and you have both Janet Mills. I believe both Janet Mills and Graham Plattner outraising Susan Collins. Okay, remember, Susan Collins will have a leadership pack and all these other things. She personally might not have raised as much, but behind the scenes, there's going to be a lot more money into that race. But it does seem like the Democratic and Republican numbers as far as fundraising are starting to balance out. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Now, again, let's see. Yep, they got it. Wow. Holy shit. That is okay. So that's a good number. 46. So that's early vote dump right there. So the good and the bad of it. The good is the obvious number, right? The bad of it is we'll see if we get to that 150. Okay. So and this is another thing we need to watch right now. Okay. This is early vote. Could these numbers go down with election day voting and make it much more closer? Yes. Okay. It could. So now it's not, I mean, it's good right now, but we have to wait because we have all these precincts that now have to be counted throughout. So this is not going to be a quick night. This probably will be a few hours stream as we wait for these to come in. But the good point is that we do have an early vote dump, which is good. So this is early vote by mail. So far so good if you're the Democrats. Now, let's see. I'm going to look at something. I'm going to look at some old Tarrant County election results. Because what I want to do is I want to look at some old Tarrant County election results. I don't want the results for now. I want the results for in the past. Jesus Christ. Past election information. So I want to see in 2024. I want to see in 2024 what if they have the results broken up by, in Tarrant County, broken up by voting method. Okay, I want results. Cumulative report. Okay, here we go. So let me give you the lowdown on this and why it will be interesting. This is actually good news. This is good news for the Democrats. This is actually what we're seeing right now is actually some really good news. Let me go ahead and throw what I got up here right now. So this is what happened, and don't worry, you can tell me if these numbers will change. This is the early vote dump, so that means early vote by mail dump. So that means that it's going to take a while probably for some new numbers come in. Now, here we go. So what we have here is we have absentee voting, and you can see that Kamala Harris won 62% of absentee voting. But if we look at early voting, Donald Trump won that. But if you look down here, an overwhelming majority of that number was early voting. Okay, and this is the number that we have in right now. So, you can add 17,000 to this, you can add 10,000 to this. So this is something that if we were to just go ahead and mirror what we had in the last election, it shows that the Democrats shouldn't be winning this. The Republicans should be. And the fact that the Democrats are winning it is good. But the only thing I'm wondering is that it's 45,646. And as we can see here, the amount of early voters were significantly more than election day voters. We might have a very low turnout election here. I am very low, but it would shock me if this runoff only had 50 or like 60 or 70,000 when the last election, the actual primary election, had 118,000. That would be significantly lower. So that's something that we'll keep an eye on, because if we look at how this was before, we see that the Republicans should be winning the early vote count, but they're not. So if you're the Democrats now, let's go back, let's see what the election day numbers were. Actually, it looks like the Republicans percentage-wise they did better on election day, but barely so. If we go ahead and put these absentee numbers into the early vote numbers, the early vote numbers would still be higher than the election day numbers. So overall, I think the Democrats have won this. The numbers could come down a little bit. They probably will. But unless and it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Because if the numbers go up, or if the numbers stay the same, that means that early voting, well, you know what? Hold on a second. Because I said I've been looking at, I wonder if Tarrant County is actually showing the results by voting method. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to go here. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to what they have. So we can see 56.23 to 43. So this is what we have. It says not reporting. So these are all vote by mail. Okay, vote types. So as we can see, early vote and vote by mail. Okay, so early vote, he's winning early votes by a significant amount. It will be, now, the one thing I'm thinking of maybe is because this was a last minute change, It was on a Saturday, which makes no sense. It'll be interesting to see if it being on a Saturday, day that people don't work, if that will do something. But we do have a map here. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that VoteHub, I can't find the election results. I'm kind of surprised that they don't have any election results up here, considering that the county is here. All right, so now we just wait. So, and you can see how much of Tarrant County this includes. This includes the rural areas. Now, the problem is, I think, the problem is, let me click on a precinct, see if that will do. No, that sucks. I was hoping, because obviously these people who are voting live in a precinct somewhere. I was kind of interested to see if you could go to a precinct and see how that's going. Let me actually download something. Let's see if I can get it if I download it. Probably not, but I just want to see. Ballots cast. Oh no, okay. Unfortunately, we can't do it there, but I do have it here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and look at, I'm going to go, okay. So I can give you some numbers right away. No, I don't want that. Let's see. I want the precinct map from the New York Times. Okay. So here we go, Tarrant County. So let's look at this Richland Hills. Let's look at this precinct here. So Donald Trump won this precinct, 64. Okay. I don't know the number of it, but I'm going to go over to the Texas map. We can get rid of those polling locations now. Where do I put that map at? Seriously, where the hell did I put that Tarrant County map at? Okay, we can close that. Oh, there it is. All right. I hate this. Okay. So there we go. What did we want to look at? Want to look at this in Richland Hills, this precinct. Kind of looks like a guy, looks like Bart Simpson with his mouth open. Okay, let's see if we can. Okay, it's right here. So this is precinct 3215. So let me go look at 3215 here. 32. Okay, there we go. 3215. Actually, what I'm going to do is edit enabled. Okay. So equals this divided by this. All right. So this will give us a good indication. Okay, 3215. There it is, 3215. $14.15. Okay, here we go. So to give you an idea, this precinct right here that went 65% for Donald Trump right now is going 48.9% for Ramette. So the Democrat right now is winning 48.9% of a precinct that Donald Trump won 65% in. That's good. That's really, really good. Let's see if we can find some. Let's see what this other precinct is here. This one just might have a lot less. 4399, chances are it's a 99 number. It's going to hardly have any people in it. But it could be, who knows. 4399. Yeah. There's only like 15 voters in that precinct. That's what I figured. Let's go ahead and look at some others. Let's see if there are new numbers. Let's see if we can find a more Trumpy precinct. Well, let's go up here. Let's go up into the Keller area. Okay, so we have Keller here where we have 67%. Let's see if we can go ahead and find that precinct there. So, there's one. Here's one. Donald Trump, 70% here. Let's see if we can find that precinct. That's this precinct here. 3072. So let's go to precinct 3072. Precinct 3072. Okay, wait. So in this precinct, Kamala Harris got 29% of the votes. Taylor Ramett right now has 44.6% of the votes. Okay? And remember, from the voting method that the Republicans are actually going to get more votes on, which is the early vote. This is gonna be, so yeah. So right now, Taylor Ramett is winning this, or losing in this precinct, but he has, hold on a second. I'm just gonna do something really quick. Unfortunately, I don't have this connected to my, to what I have. I'm wondering if I can. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I was going to go ahead and connect it, but it actually would just take up too much. Okay, equals 1 minus this. There we go. All right. So let's go back to it. The 70%. Now, it might be better to look at Kamala Harris's or the Republican number, because this is obviously a runoff, right? So 3072 again. So yeah, this precinct right now is 55.4% to 44.6%. Okay, this is a huge one. And yeah, so we'll keep an eye on what happens here. Let's go ahead and look at some other parts of the district. So we got some really red areas out here. Let's go to the most red area out in this corner of Tarrant County here. That would be this precinct. So precinct 4047. Let's see, does that look like it's this one? Yeah. Let's look at 4047. So this was a 8019 precinct. Okay, so let's look at 4047. Okay, so this precinct is going essentially 70-30. So we're talking about a 10% swing here. So we're looking at pretty decent numbers. I guess we can go into some of the more Democratic areas. Now, chances are these are going to have, let's look at not this. My guess is, yeah, there's only 3 people living there. Let's go into a bigger Democratic precinct. Okay, 822. So this, we got time because there just isn't anything going to be done right now. So in Fort Worth, let's do this one. Okay. I think that's this one. Okay. 4017. Okay, Democrats are winning. Okay, so Democrats are winning. Jesus Christ. Is that right? Yeah, Democrats are winning this precinct right now that you see Kamala Harris won 64%. Democrats in early vote are winning it with 91.3% of the vote. So this precinct right here, the one 64% for Kamala Harris, is right now going 91.3% for Taylor Ramette. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so we do have early vote, we do have absentee. Let's see. Let's look at some other things. Yeah, so everyone, this one right here, this precinct, which is this precinct, 4017, you can see the same shape, going 91% for Taylor Ramette. Let's see what else we have. Let's look at some of these. Let's look at these Haltom City ones. Okay, let's see if we can find a bigger Haltom City one. They all look like they're about the same. They're about high 50s for Trump or maybe into the 60s. Let's look at this one here. This is essentially a 60-40 one. Let's see where it is on the map. Is that this one here? Yeah, that's that one there. 60-40. So this one, 40-42. Okay, this one, 60-38 for Trump. And that's 40-42. Let's see what it's doing right now. Taylor Ramette is winning this precinct right now, 57% to 42%. He's winning it. It's a flip of what the results were before. Okay, but I can already tell you now, the turnout is very low there. Very low. Right now, the turnout is, I gotta see what, I gotta, hold on, let me freeze panes here. Freeze panes. Okay, I think I said 40-42 was this one. 40-42. Okay. In this precinct, there have only, in early votes, there were only 47 votes cast. Let's go back over there. Let's see if any precincts have come in yet. Looks like no. So now that we got this map, the one thing what you're going to want to look at if you're the Democrats, does this area turn blue? And I guess now, come on. Haltom City looks like it will turn blue. Again, the problem is what's that turnout going to be? Here, I'm going to close some of these that we don't need. Oh, do I have it by precinct here? No, that's cumulative. All right. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at some of these other North Richland Hills. Let's look at that precinct. That would be this one right here, 3140. Precinct 3140, which is this one, which Donald Trump won 64-34, a 30-point win. What did I say it was? What number? 3140? What did I say? 3140, yeah. $31.40. Ramet is winning this one right now. He's winning this precinct right now 53.6% to 46.4%. So yeah, he's winning. He's winning here, but the Haltom City numbers are extremely impressive. We'll see what happens. I'm saying they're extremely impressive, but we'll see. Okay, we've already gone into Keller and so on. Oh, actually. Okay. TUR. I'm going to just do a regression here. Oops. Equals. I'm going to look at turnout. I want to do a regression and see if as turnout goes down, Democrats go up, or like I want to see. I'm not going to get all the numbers because they're not all in there, but I'm hoping they. Okay. No, there's no relate. Well, yeah, there kind of is. Hold on one second. Let me. Thank you, Chuck, for becoming a representative level member. Greatly appreciate that. Okay, I'm trying to look. So as of right now, I'm gonna have to do this. Let's see if I can add a source window capture. Okay, add a new window capture. Add source. Okay, here we go. Done. All right, so I'm just going to show you this right here. So this is what we have. So this is the election results. So we can see, and I'm just going to get rid of this. Maybe I'll copy paste it over here. Okay, so we can just get it away from the results now. So what we have here right now, I mean, there's not going to be any relation whatsoever. So let's add a trend line. Go ahead and put a R square there. The R square is not going to be anything. Interesting. Actually, R square is 11.87, which was a little bit higher than I thought. Remember, so these precincts that we see over here just are not reporting anything right now. But we are seeing a positive relationship that, so this is, okay, so these are results down here, Democratic results. These are this is turnout. So overall, the trend is showing that but the R square is 11.87, so you can't look much into this. But as turnout goes up, there is a positive relationship. As turnout goes up, the Democratic numbers go up. But you do get these clusters of precincts right here that show much higher turnout, but much more Democratic, Republican results. Now, the reason why that might be, this is based off of voter turnout. Now, go back to this and we actually just go ahead and do a regression based off of the the total votes, because you're going to have a turnout of like 80%, but you only have 10 people in the precinct, right? So let's go ahead. And that's not telling us much either. Well, it kind of. No, I want to change the. Okay. Oh, I did the wrong thing. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. It's like that's not telling us anything. Insert. Okay. Actually. No, there really isn't. I bet if I put a trend line on this, you're not going to see much. Yeah, it's like 0.0 something. So yeah, overall, there's nothing that we can really glean. So the question I was asking myself just now, and sorry for kind of like waiting a while. The thing I was kind of asking myself is if turnout's going, if it's higher, is that becoming more democratic or whatnot? We're not really seeing a relationship between turnout and votes for the Democrat or the Republican. Okay, so um, so that's something. That's something to keep an eye on. Let's see. Do we have any results coming in? Nope. I think we're going to be kind of on hold until the first precinct comes in. 7:30 now. Be interesting to see how this map pans out. Let's see if we can find some other Republican counties. Or counties. Why do I keep saying county? Okay, let's see this. See, like you got a precinct here. Donald Trump won 100%, but there are like 3 people in it, right? It does look like this precinct right here looks to be the most decent sized Republican precinct that there is by Avondale. So let's check that precinct out on the map. Okay. Look like that. Oops. It's going to be this one. 40, okay. 4724. So 4724. Let's see what it's doing right now. Okay. In fact, I'll even bring this up. 4724. $47.24 right there. 62% for the Republican, 37% for Ramette. Okay. So, and again, you can see, the turnout is at 6% right now. And it's important to know Texas has notoriously low turnout rates, even in presidential elections. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, so this precinct, where was it? That went 82%. The Republicans right now have 62% in it. So that's this one right here. So that is the most Republican or the most Donald Trump one that I could see. Now there are some down here, but those look less. That looks like it's the most decent sized Republican precinct, and it's down 20%. So yeah. Will I visit Obama's presidential center once it's open? Yeah, if I'm in the country. That's honestly if I'm in the country. Oops. Nope. I'm just going to reload this. I don't know if it needs a reload or not. Probably not. Okay, so I mean, we're in a holding pattern. We're seeing what's happening here. Not much to talk about. And I wished that this data that I have on the Excel spreadsheet, I wish they would put it here in the map. I think Remet's going to win. I do think he's going to win because it was this early vote number. It at least needed to be tied. And it's not. It's not even close. And now I'm kind of looking at what the total amount of votes are going to be. If it's going to be under 100,000, that's not good. Let me go ahead and look at the last the results from the last election and see how that broke down. That might past election results. I don't need 1996. I need 2025 cumulative report. So, okay, I'll go ahead and share this with you guys. Here, we'll look at this together. So, Taylor Remet right here. Oh, okay. Okay, so you can see it's still going to have it. I mean, so we see 63,000 voted in early voting, then 53,000 voted on election day. And as you can see in early voting, Remet, it was close for Remet. He actually dominated election day voting. He won 51.73. And this is a trend we are starting to see happen. We are starting to now see, forget what Tom Bonnier and those morons said, a year and a half ago, right? Talking about, the cannibalization and Democrats are voting early. There's no evidence of it, like none, okay? We're seeing evidence of Democrats turning out on election day now, okay? I mean, the fact that the Democrats are turning out significantly on election day, this number might go over 100,000, but again, if I'm the Democrat, I'm kind of looking, I want a higher number than that, but it is a good result. So yeah, so I'm going to actually get rid of this other Tarrant County. Let's look at this one while we're waiting for some results. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we could see that Remet did best in absentee voting, but that was like hardly any of the vote, right? 1,324 total votes. Early voting, Remet won, but didn't have a majority. Election day voting, he won and he had a majority. So that's good. That's good if we are starting to see more Democrats turn out on election day. So we'll see if that's going to be a trend. I'm going to go here. We're going to just wait to see if that updates. This one I know updates every minute or so it will change. And if it changes, then we can go over to the map and take a look at the map. So yeah. But again, Republicans are just not doing well. So one thing I'm thinking about doing on the channel is maybe doing special election live streams. Here's the thing. If I do a live stream, more people watch it than a regular video. I have more people watching my live stream right now than watch my just watching it right now than watch my last video that I did. I think I made some of the natives restless when I was like, don't use AI to make a point because the Republicans can use that against you. Because for some reason, the Republicans are allowed to just shit on people, but the Democrats aren't. Go figure. I mean, it could be because I'm the only person reporting it, but it's not that. It's that if I do a live stream, more people are going to get a notification or going to see it on their home screen that I'm doing a live stream. But if I do a regular video, what happens is, like, even half of the people who are subscribed to my channel don't even see my video. My impressions are like half of what my subscriber count is. So that's where it's a little bit different. I have not met Obama. I've seen Obama. I saw him when he was senator. I saw him in Nevada when I worked for John Edwards. So I'm at a Jefferson Jackson dinner there. It was the same day or the day after. I think they had a debate there in 2007, I guess, late 2007. Huh, you've been locked. It keeps saying 20 minutes for subscribers when you've been, yeah, let me know if anybody else is having that. I have made it on my channel, my overall channel, that you can only comment if you've been on the channel for a day or more, subscribe for a day or more. That essentially gets rid of all the clickbaity people that just look at a thumbnail and say, "You're wrong, communist," or whatever. Right. All right, so we're not seeing any changes yet. So as we're waiting for the changes, let's go ahead and look at the chat. Ben, thank you for the $9 super chat. If you have any questions, thank you very much. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask the question. So yeah, so we still got a ways to wait. So again, while we're waiting, like I said, I mentioned this at the beginning of my live stream that I'm taking, as I mentioned on a post, I'm taking a break from doing this channel. And I'm taking a break from doing this channel because I'm working on my history channel. That's the main reason why. Election history, just search election history on YouTube, you'll find it. Because right now that brings in more income, that brings in more sponsorships. I'm eventually hopefully going to get those. Brings in more views, does a lot better. This political stuff is just absolutely hit and miss. I can do a video and make $3 off a video. It's like, well, Carly, thank you for the $3 super chat. Appreciate it. Fist bump to you as well. Opinions on the Texas 18th? No, it's a Democratic district, so it's a Democratic district with two Democrats running against each other. I haven't even really followed it. I don't know how many votes were expected to be cast, but as of right now, it looks like it's okay. Now let's put this in perspective. Let's come back. Okay. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be under 100,000, but let's put the caveat on there. Let's put this caveat on there, which is that today is a Saturday. The last election day that we had here, okay, this was a regular Tuesday election day. And we can see it was 10,000 less than the early votes. But today's election falls on a Saturday, so therefore we could see a lot more people turn out to vote today. That might also make the vote more Republican. We'll have to see when it comes to that. Daniel, thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Do you think the live streams are more interesting and informative than regular videos? So moving almost entirely to live streams as a move, I think, is good. In my opinion, will you be live streaming most special elections and primaries? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, it's kind of where we're at right now. I mean, I honestly, because I'm gonna just tell you how I work. During the day, I do a lot of my study for my election history and all those other things. At night, I start kind of getting brain dead. Once it starts getting 5, 6, 7 o'clock, I don't want to do any work. And for me, a lot of this stuff isn't really work to me. It's just something that naturally comes to me. Matt, hope you're doing well down there in Largo. I hear that Florida had some bitter cold a few days ago. I don't know if that's still there. Oh, okay. Love the coverage as always. Thank you, Matt. Perfect for a crazy cold Florida stand, right? In which we might get snow flurries. Oh, please. I mean, well, okay. So because you're Canadian, did you ever live in Canada? Um, I don't know if you ever lived in Canada. So if you did, are you like a Floridian that has Canadian citizenship? Oh, by the way, now, Matt, if you didn't know, I am now a dual citizen. I am now a Slovak and American citizen. So now, uh, I can go to I can go to Europe. Carly, thanks again for the $5 super chat. Yes, why don't you focus on doing live streams here? I really appreciate what you do. I like live streams because they're more interactive once a week. Yeah, so I'm just thinking about now doing live streams, and then when we get closer to election time, then we can start looking at stuff. Then we can start looking at numbers that, because poll numbers right now aren't really telling us anything. Paul Gilbert, thank you for the super chat from the UK, I assume, because I see the pound sign. Oh, he said, always enjoy your content. The live streams are good. Way to go. From Love from London. I love London, actually. I haven't been there in a few years, but I do want to go back. I will be back in Europe this year because I need to go to Slovakia to get my passport and my ID card. So I will be there. And by the way, on my election history channel, if you live in the United States, today was my second video. I've already done one about Utah, but I did a video about the electoral history of Alabama. Okay, so I'm going to be doing all 50 states. It's going to take me about 2 years, but I am going to be doing that. So please go over to that channel and subscribe to it. Okay. To Prasad, I can't see the whole name. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Do you have any general political prognostications for the country, big picture wise? Will liberalism come back? Okay, I was looking at a live stream that I did almost a year ago, and I was saying that I don't think that we're going to have free, fair, and accurate elections. Maybe I was ahead of the curve. I see a lot of people are starting to come to my point of view. I hear people talk, and this is one of the reasons why I've stopped kind of talking about elections as well. I see a lot of people talking about how the federal government can't, it's the states that control the elections. Two things got to remember. First, the states control the election due to the federal government allowing them to control elections. Second of all, my stupid congressman, Mike Bost, he filed something in court, went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and they basically said it was something about how a federal candidate can scrutinize mail-in votes and stuff like that, votes that come in afterwards, so on and so forth. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This goes all the way back to Lyndon Johnson when he was running for Senate in 1948. He went to Hugo Black. Abe Fortas went to Hugo Black and all that. The arguments are going to be that the Republicans are going to interfere because they're going to say that there is voter fraud happening, and because there are federal elections happening, therefore they're going to get the courts involved. I'm just telling you this. Okay, so anyone who looks at this myopic view of just saying, oh, well, the Constitution says the states control it. If it was just the states, we wouldn't have had President George W. Bush, okay? If it were just the states, then we wouldn't have federal campaign contribution limits, okay? But we do. It's not all state run, and people need to realize that. So yeah, we're just we're just waiting for results. Someone said here 8:30, so yeah, we might have to wait a little bit. We'll stay here on the Decision HQ thing first because it'll be easier to see it update. So here's the thing, people. The Republicans are already shown. Okay, let's put this into perspective. If you're Donald Trump and you are being told by the Democrats and Democratic activists and all that, oh, when you get out of the White House, we're going to make sure that you're in jail. What incentive would you have to give up power? You know, at that point, you would kamikaze go all the way flying into the sun like one of Elon Musk's cars, flying into the sun, guns blazing, trying to keep on to power because your other alternative is that you're going to be in jail the rest of your life. You got to realize the Republicans at that point, in 2028 might be they have nothing to lose point. Remember that. Oh yeah, I can vote in Slovakia now, so I can vote in the next elections. Yes. So thank you, Rennie, for the super chat. Thank you, Javier Rangel. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for all the data and the education. Keep the good work. Okay, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I'm thinking just right now we're going to be doing live streams though. It'd be nice to get some results from Texas. Let's see if VoteHub is actually doing anything. If anyone knows if VoteHub's actually got a map, I'd rather use theirs than actually use the... It doesn't seem like VoteHub is doing it. Wonder if VoteHub's not doing it because their employees don't work on a Saturday. Maybe it's a weekend thing. That's going to be what's really interesting to see how this Saturday voting goes. Oh, I think if Vance and Rubio run, they'll depending on what Democrat runs, because Democrats are perfect at just picking the worst candidates. They're really good at that. Every now and then they get it right, like Barack Obama. But they're so bad at picking the worst candidates. You could have had John Glenn and you picked Walter Mondale. I mean, they're just historically have been bad. But if like a decent Democrat runs, Vance versus Rubio, I think those two would get their ass kicked. They're not Kool-Aid drinking. They're not crazy enough. Let's be honest. They're not crazy enough. This is for the state Senate. This is not for the U.S. Senate. This is a state Senate seat in Tarrant County. Let's see. Do I still have the regular one up there? In Tarrant County, Texas, which is a Republican-leaning county, a county that if the Democrats want to perform well in the U.S. Senate race in Texas, they need to perform well in places like Tarrant County. Okay, Atul Prasad, thanks again for another super chat. Okay, so is there any actual thing that I can do to make elections free and fair? New York Times editorial board gave suggestions titled "Trump could interfere with midterm elections." You can help defend them. Yeah, that's a good thing. I just realized that I have latest YouGov poll. I have not changed that at all. Where it says latest YouGov poll, I have not changed that at all. I need to change it soon. So for those watching, this is not the latest YouGov poll. So what can be done? I mean, I hate to say that. I mean, I hate to be doom and gloom, but we got to figure it out. We've already let the fox into the hen house. Let's be honest. We've already let the fox into the hen house. That is important. And like, what can we do to make them free and fair? Because this is a challenge. And because see, you have 3 points that you have to worry about. The problem is not everybody's thinking about all 3. The first point is that you need to make sure that people aren't going to be taken off the voter rolls, that they're not going to be turned away at the polls, and other things like that. So we have to think pre-election. Will people be taken off the voter rolls? Will be people told they're not going to be able to vote, like on election day and other things like that? Okay, so that's the first thing that needs to be done. There's a reason why the Republicans want to get the voter rolls from these states. That's the first thing. So you have pre-election you need to deal with. That interference. That also goes with making sure the voting machines are correct, the voting machines are accurate, that there is a system there where there are 2, 3, 4 people that are there to watch the counting of the votes, and that there is a representative there to see that as well. Okay, that's the first thing. Then you got election day, and you just have the whole voter tampering thing there. Also election machines, also people being denied to vote, other things like that. Then this is the real problem. Everyone is so front loaded when it comes to the elections. They're not looking at the back end. The back end is, will the Republicans tamper the numbers in a way that they certify different numbers? Okay, so I just did this on my video about Alabama. So Don Siegelman, who was the governor of Alabama, elected in 1998, he lost to Bob Riley for governor in a very, very close election. There was one county called Baldwin County. And when they counted all the votes, Siegelman, I think, was ahead. I'm not sure. Siegelman was ahead. Okay. So that number would have given him the win, the number in Baldwin County. Now, the Democratic representatives were there. They watched the count. They then watched the recount. And then they said, these were the final numbers. And then the Democrats left. Then, as the Democrats left, Baldwin County created new numbers. And now all of a sudden gave 6,000 votes, or shifted 6,000 votes over to who eventually became Governor Riley, giving him the win in that election. And the Republicans said, oh, it was a computer glitch. Also, go look at Vern Buchanan when he ran in a congressional district against Kamala Harris. Vern Buchanan is another candidate that was in a very, very close election in Sarasota, Florida for Congress. What happened is a few precincts didn't report the numbers on the congressional district only, but they reported it on all the others, because there was like a U.S. Senate race, gubernatorial race, and all that. And all these places were highly Democratic. If the votes that were if you were to just repeat the votes in those precincts for the congressional race, then the Democratic candidate, I forgot who it was at the time, they would have won. But Vern Buchanan ended up winning that. It has happened, and has happened recently. So we should not shy from that. Let me look at some of the super chats that have come in. So Daniel, again, one thing I'd love to hear from you is a detailed breakdown of various exit polls from the last 10 years. In 2020, most states had exit polls done, and there's a lot of data points. In 2024, also whites and no religion in particular are seeing trends. I guess with the no religion thing, I don't know if the number is statistically, if it's high enough to have any statistical significance. So I don't know. We still haven't seen anything coming out of Texas yet. Karen, thank you again for another super chat. I agree about live streams. Thanks for mentioning Alan Lichtman the other day. I started seeing videos with him again. I mean, see, again, the thing with Alan Lichtman is he just reversed engineered it. Okay, he's like, let's look at all these people who ran for president. Let's see what they all have in common, and that's going to be my keys. That's all he did. I mean, that's literally all he did. Okay, so let's look at the election night numbers on the county, see if they've got anything. Well, they still don't have anything. Let's go back here. Well, you know what? I'm wondering if we can. No, these are just all federal. These are all just federal or statewide races. But we could take Governor 2022. There we go. So you can see here, they are a little bit more. Wish I had a tooltip on this so you could, go over them. Yeah, it's basically from Kelter down to Haltom City. I'm really seeing how blue that could get tonight. But nothing yet. Nothing yet. Years old. That's my opinion. I don't give a shit about age. That's just me. Now we're just waiting, and I'm only talking about these other things because we're just waiting for the numbers. There isn't much to talk about, but we are seeing a good, like, in some places 10% swing, in some places 20% swing for the Democrats in this state Senate election. But I am interested to see with election night being on Saturday, how these numbers are going to pan out. Yeah, I don't know why people say Bernie bro, when the actual exit polls from the primaries would show that a lot of Bernie supporters were people 39 and under, and of those 39 and under, he actually performed a lot better with female voters than with male voters. So, like, literally, see, and this is one of the problems I have with the Democratic Party. This will be one of my gripes. When you actually present facts to them and data and information, the party that loves to talk about science, they refute the science. I actually was talking to one pretty prominent Democrat telling him, all the people, all the polls, that there were Hillary versus Trump and Bernie versus Trump. Bernie was beating him by a significantly higher number. But it didn't matter. And I don't think the Democrats understand, because I just happened to see MS Now today, and they're like, we're going to have Hakeem Jeffries on. No one gives a shit about Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, like, literally, no one gives a shit about him. It would be best if he would go bye-bye, along with Chuck Schumer. Bernie let Hillary screw him over. Bernie, and I'll be honest, Bernie also let Biden screw him over. I mean, everyone screwed Biden. I think any Democrat could have won that election. I voted for Trump 3 times. Yeah, that's sorry. Yeah, so Christopher, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, Bernie Sanders would have beaten Trump. I mean, I'm just waiting for results. It's kind of quiet right now. Sorry guys. It's hard to talk for a long time. Even people on television have like other people talking and then commercial breaks. I don't. Again, I don't care if somebody's old or not. I care about you know what? I don't care if they're old. I don't care if they look good. I don't care if I care about if the issues they support are the issues I want. Okay. That's what I want. I want the person that's going to be the best president for the United States. Call me crazy, but that's what I would do. Oh, speaking of Vern Buchanan, did you see he's not running again? I mean, he's only been in there for 20 years, 24 years. So his first run 2006, or was it 2002? I think it would have been 2006. I think Catherine Harris still had that. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But they've gerrymandered the hell out of Florida, and they're about to do it again. I mean, they really can reduce the Democrats in Florida down to 2 seats if they wanted to. But we aren't there yet. Dan Sullivan's 8 points underwater. Numbers right now don't mean a thing. You know, numbers right now talking about an election is like me telling you what the weather is going to be in July. Okay. Or better yet, it's like me saying the first week of August, I'm predicting we're going to have a category 5 hurricane hitting New Orleans. Okay. It's just useless. No polls right now are even worth the electronic paper they're written on. They're just useless. And that goes back to the Bernie thing, right? The polls when Bernie was leading was during the primaries, but could things have changed that Bernie would have lost? Could have. But the difference is with Alaska, you don't have enough data points as you do with a presidential election. Is Florida even worth saving? I'm changing my mind on Florida. Like I said, if there's any state I know a lot about, it's the state of Florida. And the thing about Florida is that you have State House District 3 and Congressional District 1 special elections in which, and I know I keep on bringing this up, but it is such an important point, that you had more Republicans vote in registered Republicans vote in those special elections than the amount of votes that the Republican candidate won. We have never seen that in recent history in Florida. As a matter of fact, in the Panhandle, it's usually the other way. It's usually that the Democrat will actually get less votes than the amount of registered Democrats that actually vote. The fact that this is full circle and the fact that this is actually in the Panhandle, Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, Escambia, the Democratic candidate won Escambia County in the election, in the congressional election. It could be something. And with Vindman now as the candidate, you have a very high profile candidate running for the Democrats. If the Democrats don't pick him, they would be stupid. But you know what it also can do? A lot of people might not know, down in the Miami area, down in the Sunny Isles area, there's a large Russian immigrant population that pump a lot of money into into Florida elections, right? It could expose DeSantis and his connection to Russian oligarchs, which would be great. With Sanders, Trump would have been in prison 100%. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, there's a lot of problems that that could have been saved. I mean, but why can't you believe Bernie's being brought up? God forbid we want to give people health care and have them, you know, God forbid he doesn't want to shoot people in the streets like Trump wants to. God forbid that he wants to make sure that people can afford a house and afford a car and not have to worry about going broke because of health insurance bills or anything like that. God forbid. Instead, let's vote for the Republicans, just going to say, like, get the brown people. We don't care if you actually do well. Okay. I mean, Donald Trump even said in what was the press conference yesterday or the day before, he said, I want house prices to go up instead of go down. What a piece of shit. I'll vote for any Democrat, but I believe Newsom's nominee will lose. And I think that's one of the people I think that the Democrats. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's coming to the point now. Let's see how this election comes. If we look at all the special elections in this one, it comes to the point that if elections are free and fair, if elections are free and fair, then the Democrats could probably win in 2028, even if like this solo cup ran. Okay. We got to wait and see what happens in 2026. Bernie always has the same message. He doesn't change. Exactly. He doesn't. I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Democrats do not need to pick someone from California. First and foremost, they do not pick someone from California. I mean, I'm going for J.B. Pritzker. I truly believe, I mean, this might be kind of my bias. I truly believe that Midwesterners are the people who know how to read voters the best. I see, Gavin Newsom is too much of a, what I would say like a poll driven person or a focus group driven person, right? He's going to like, what's the focus group saying? And let's say what we're going to say based on the focus group. He can get bitter and angry, but then he has his own record to back up, which is not going to be really good in the general. Montgomery Brewster. I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie. I mean, Pete Buttigieg seems to me like seems to me just again like a poll driven, focus group driven candidate. Come on, voters. Or voters, counters, I guess. Let's go over to this. No, we still haven't seen anything over here. Mark Kelly is too boring. Democrats need to realize that elections are personality contests. Till they realize it's more like it's more like American Idol than it is C-SPAN. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. I like him. I like Mark Kelly, but I don't know if he supports Medicare for all. That's kind of my yes or no. You support Medicare for all? Yes, got my vote. No, you don't. Gavin Newsom would be labeled as a San Francisco liberal. Yes, 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 yes. Well, yeah, I mean, you do have, and this is what you got to ask yourself, and I agree. Um, so said voting against fascism. I agree, and this could be an election where see this is another thing too is you got to realize if you're saying that we are living in fascist America, but then believe we're going to have free and fair elections, that's not how fascism works, right? Show me a fascist country, like once it turned to fascism, right? That actually then just had democratic elections. Did it happen in Spain? Did it happen in Italy? Did it happen in Germany? Did it happen in my Slovakia when it became a satellite state of Germany? No. Did it happen in Japan? Okay, no. Dan McCormick pulled off an upset in 2004 against Casey. Pat Toomey won in 2016. Both cases, Trump was on the ballot, so Pennsylvania back to lean blue. And thanks for the super chat, Ash. Thank you very much. I don't know. I feel that Pennsylvania is one of the states that we're going to kind of start losing, maybe. The biggest problem with Pennsylvania has been turnout in the Philadelphia area. If we really look at it, if the turnout in the Philadelphia area would have been much better, then the Democrats would have, I think, performed better. But it was early on that we saw that the troubles were going to happen in Pennsylvania. But remember, the only reason I said that we had problems there, but most of the people in Pennsylvania vote on election day. What is Newsom's thing on trans rights? He was like one of the first governors to do the whole bathroom thing. He's I don't see, this is what it's like. I don't friggin' get when people are like, oh, what's their record on here? It's like, they literally did what you wanted them to do. Okay. Now they have a podcast with somebody and they're all of a sudden against them. It's just, and it cracks me up because it does seem like a lot of people. It has, like, I had somebody on my Discord that I had that just, I find the funniest thing is when you have people say, I don't like you conservative. I mean, I'm not conservative, but I don't like conservatives. They're closed-minded. But if you don't agree exactly with my position on my far left view, then you're closed-minded. It's like, Jesus Christ, are you hearing yourself? Yeah, I do believe Pennsylvania. It's like Pennsylvania is the one that's going to be the loss, but I do think eventually Georgia and North Carolina are going to be the pickups, right? And another thing, Georgia and North Carolina are going to see the increase in population while you're going to see Pennsylvania fall, Ohio fall. So it's not bad. The last campaign I ended up working with was Kathy Allen running for Congress. Jason Chaffetz left Congress 2017. There was a special election. It was John Curtis versus Kathy Allen. And our goal, my main goal, I wasn't a campaign manager. I was for a little bit when the campaign manager went on vacation. But I did all the targeting, all the field, all the everything. With that, not messaging or whatever. My goal, win Salt Lake County. We didn't even focus on Utah County, with the exception of some BYU students that we had down there. And I think we either won it or came damn close to winning it. So we accomplished what we were doing. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna comment on people that, I worked for in the past. I just don't think that's the right thing to do. Except one group of people, maybe. But like that was the last candidate I worked with and paid well, so I can't complain. But yeah, let's just put it this way. It was a better day in the office when she wasn't there. So yeah. But what happened is Rosie O'Donnell did it. She was running against Jason Chaffetz. All of a sudden, Rosie O'Donnell did some tweet about Jason Chaffetz and give money to his opponent. She got an influx of money in, which sucks because I think that brought in somebody like Joe Trippi or somebody. And if any of you know, I fucking hate Joe Trippi. So yeah. Why do I think Pennsylvania's a lost cause? Population shifts. Remember, the Republicans are becoming more rabid in their in what they have in their votes, right? Pennsylvania. I mean, again, Philadelphia. The real problems that we've had over the last few cycles is Philadelphia's turnout has been pretty low. So, and that's been like the real problem. So it's not the Pittsburgh area. Allegheny County and Pittsburgh actually are performing fine. It's in and around Philly that is an issue, and specifically the city of Philadelphia is having low turnout rates. That's bad. So let's see what Tim has to say. Mass deportations over the next 4 years will lower the amount of House seats and Electoral College edge points after the next set to certain Democrats. I don't think so. I don't think that it's going to have any impact whatsoever. If there's any state that's going to hurt, it's going to hurt Texas, which is definitely not a Democratic state. Thank you for the super chat, Tim. Really, really appreciate it. Daniel, another super chat. Thank you. I know you've dismissed the South at large recently, but I am so tired today because I was doing a lot of work on taxes. So I know you've dismissed the South at large recently, but I've had a gut feeling that Georgia and North Carolina start becoming bluer, then South Carolina, Tennessee might start becoming competitive in 20 years. What do you think? I mean, the problem is we don't know what the trends will be like, right? In this time. Georgia, Alabama, or not Alabama, Georgia and North Carolina, I feel good about. Okay, let's put it this way. Virginia is now where Illinois was in 1992. Georgia, to me, is now where Virginia was in 2008. We can maybe say the same with North Carolina. So I think those trends are going that way. Tennessee, I mean, you got to realize, Tennessee is very Republican. I don't think people realize how much of a population there actually is east of Nashville. Okay. They actually, going out to Chattanooga and all that, there's a lot of rural areas, but there are a lot of people out there too. It's not sparsely populated. So that's something to keep in mind. I feel better with South Carolina. But we got to see where, this is going to be the problem. Trump is imposing. Do we have any, just really quick before I get to that point? I just want to see, because we're here for the election. No numbers yet. Trump is imposing these tariffs. These tariffs are going to cause a brain drain. The brain drain, or the brains have been going to these other states like North Carolina, Technology Triangle. I knew people that worked in Spartanburg at BMW plants in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and other places. As those companies start getting tariffed to hell, then the brain drain is going to happen. And the question then becomes, where do those people go? I think do I think the United States might be on track to become a more and more Republican country? Yes. Because I think a lot of people like me have, I'll be honest with you. I've been watching YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time. I'm on YouTube right now. I've noticed a lot more videos in the last, especially few days, since Alex Preddy was brutally executed. I've seen a lot more videos about like how the hell do you get out of the United States? 10 countries that you can go to get out now. Do you want to move to France? Do you want to move to here now? You can move out now. As a matter of fact, the Slovak embassy, it was like the day or two, like 2 or 3 days after Renee Good was executed. The Slovak embassy even put the Slovak embassy in the United States put a post up saying like, did you know Slovakia has one of the strongest passports that there is, knowing that there are people like me, right? So yeah, Richard O'Hare for Congress. I like the guy. I mean, I guess he'd run in West Virginia again, right? So yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, you have nothing to lose in West Virginia. Now that's what Democrats should be asking themselves. How'd you go from Michael Dukakis winning West Virginia to now it being the strongest Trump state? It's crazy. I didn't want to do a long stream tonight, but damn, Tarrant County's making it long for us. Not all precincts have posted at this time. Really? Ugh. So just keep an eye on that. Oh, he's running in North Carolina this year? Okay. Because he's from West Virginia, right? Because he was in one of those Michael Moore movies, and he was in West Virginia, right? I've heard that Slovakia is pretty conservative and relatively pro-Russian. How much do you care about that if you're moving there? I have a pro-Russian country with Donald Trump who's executing people on the street. I'll take Slovakia easily in a heartbeat over the United States. Easily. And also, I can get healthcare in Slovakia. I can get other services in Slovakia. I can get an apartment that I can afford in Slovakia. I can get public transportation for $200 a year in Slovakia. Okay. Oh no, Slovakia is more. Thanks for a super chat. Slovakia is more anti-immigrant than the U.S. By the way, I don't think so. See, here's the thing about the conservative movements. Okay, first and foremost, if you look at Fico's party, he's only in there because of a coalition, and right now the Progressive Party is absolutely dominating, and looks like that they're going to win the next election. They'll probably work with Hlas and maybe Pellegrini and stuff like that to make sure that they get out Fico. Fico and his party is going down big time. As a matter of fact, there was a report that came out a day or two ago that was like one of Fico's people said that Fico said that Trump is basically mentally insane. So yeah. But no, would I rather live in a place where people are literally getting shot on the street by government officials, or live in a place that's not happening? I'd rather live in a place that's not happening. I look at it this way. To me, the worst European country is better than the United States. But I've thought that for over 30 years now. Thank you very much for the super chat. Nat Ping, thank you. Appreciate it. If you have a question, feel free to ask. I don't think Carney has been more progressive at all. He's gone after unions. He's gone after pilots and all that, the aviation industry and stuff. I don't think he's been conservative at all. I think he's been a banker, but he's been a shrewd banker, and I think that he knows how to take on the United States. And he understands the important part of that, which is that you need to build something, right? You need to build it. And he mentioned, I think that Davos speech that Carney gave is going to be one of those historic speeches that people are going to talk about in history books for years, the breaking up of the hegemony of the United States. But as far as his policies, I think he's more conservative than Justin Trudeau. Like, he's gone union busting and stuff like that. No, when I say European country, I mean European Union country. And yes, I will even put Romania and Bulgaria in there. So I'm talking about European Union country, maybe EU. I could see Kansas becoming competitive. Absolutely. I mean, yep, voting blue for governor, right? I can see that. And you got to realize there is this federal versus state divide, and Democrats lose. I think Democrats, let's see. Okay, so yeah, the Democrats have been they're the coastal elite party. They need to get rid of that shit. Okay. That's why Democrats did better when Harry Reid was in there. That's why he did better when Dick Gephardt was in there, right? You need to get rid of the Nancy Pelosi's, the Hakeem Jeffries, the Chuck Schumers. You need to get rid of that, coastal eliteness of the Democratic Party. Until the Democrats do that. And that's the thing. I don't even think it's an ideological thing, right? It's two things. One, it's a, we know more than you do, peons, shut up. The Democrats really need to get rid of that. And the second thing I think, as far as the Democrats, is they need to, stand for something. I think that's the biggest problem that people have been talking about with Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. It's just, they're not even saying anything. They're like, if you ask, hey, this guy went on the street and murdered 17 people, what do you think? And they'll go, we got to look at the facts, right? I mean, they're just so, you need somebody who can respond to stuff off the cuff. And that's what people like about Donald Trump, even though he is certifiably crazy. Yeah, I think Kansas is one that we could look at. Unless Democrats, so should Democrats work to win House seats? Unless Democrats just really screw the pooch, they should, even with the redistricting, they should win the House back. They should. So, that's what they got to do. And I still think the Senate's 50-50. If the elections are going to be free and fair, I still think the Senate's 50-50. Not saying that the number's 50-50, but there's a 50-50 percentage chance of the Democrats retaining or gaining it. This Senate seat has been Republican since 1992, and if it flips to Democrats, then Houston, we have a problem. Which Senate seat would that have been? Which Senate seat? Just go ahead and put it down. I know we're talking about a lot of states here. So yeah, just Nebraska. Bob Kerrey was from Nebraska. I like Bob Kerrey. I voted for Tom Harkin in 1992. I worked with Tom Harkin in 1992, but it was between Harkin and Kerry who I really liked. Okay, it's 8:33 Texas. Let's get some votes in. I've already been on for 2 hours. Jeez. Still nothing. Was there a... Oh, Texas. Wait. Unless my brain is not working, which it totally can't be. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, because Lloyd Benson was, yeah, that's right. Technically, because Bob Kruger was in there, but yeah, Lloyd Benson was the last one in there. Ralph Yarborough. See, and this is another thing too. And I'm gonna be, if you're on my election history channel, this will be coming up soon. So okay, so back to the question. This Senate seat has been Republican since '92, and if the Dem flip it, Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if let's put it this way: if Democrats somehow win Texas, they win Iowa, they retain, they keep Michigan, right? Okay, let's really play this out. If Texas is won by the Democrats, they keep Michigan, no doubt about it. They pick up Maine. They probably pick up Ohio. They definitely pick up North Carolina. I think they pick up Iowa. They definitely pick up Alaska. They might pick up Florida. I'm interested to see how Vindman is going to be able to do. I mean, that's what Texas would do. Yeah, I don't know why somebody supporting Crockett would be a bot, but how old Dems? Okay, see, here's the problem, people. Like, a lot of people are asking me about free and fair elections and what will happen. I don't know, but Steve Bannon is very confident that Donald Trump will be in there for a third term. They have a plan. See, what they learned is they learned from Project 2025. Don't publish the plan, right? Just know the plan. They have a plan, and all Democrats can do is guess what that plan's going to be. That's it. So unfortunately, we don't know. They might try to be diverting us here when they're really attacking over here. Okay, so so somebody said the Democrats didn't bother even contesting Texas Senate 9 from 94 to 2008. Remember, those would have been the districts would have been drawn differently then, right? So this is a new district. I don't know how similar it is to those older districts. Maybe it is similar, maybe you know, but just keep that in mind. There would have been redistricting, right, during all that time. Okay. Still nothing. I think they, Tarrant County, are waiting for all 129 vote centers to come in to update at once. I don't know, because it does say here not all precinct results have been posted at this time, which makes me think that they would do it as they come in. But maybe they will, because it seems really weird for us not to even have a single precinct at this time. Because I figured one would have come in, right? Thoughts on Abigail Spanber? Not much. I mean, nothing against her, nothing for her. I mean, nothing to, whatever. Actually, Southern vote counting, a lot of states like Florida do count their votes quite quickly. And then you get Palm Beach County. Oh my God, they're so bad. Though they have improved the last few election cycles. I'll give them that. I mean, right now, and let's be honest with this, and I did a video about this. a few weeks ago. It was the last video that actually people watched. Right now, none of the polling indicates that Tallarico or Jasmine Crockett would do any better or worse, really. I think the one showed that maybe if it's Tallarico versus, was it Paxson? That maybe there's hardly any difference between the two. There really isn't. Are Cubans still crazy conservative? Yes. I'm just going to say that. Yes. And I have people to back me up on that one too. So yes. Let's go back to, because this will update at that time too. If Crockett is the nominee, then kiss the Senate majority goodbye. Again, there's no data to support that. That's the point. There's no data to support this. So if you provide me with the data to say that, then I'm all ears. But yeah. I mean, basically, both of them are within the margin of error. I mean, of course, if you're the Democrats, you want Paxson to be the nominee, obviously. Is that going to happen? Who knows? Come on. No, but here's the point. This, when it comes to Florida, the biggest problem is people are not focusing on the important counties. Okay. Everyone's look at Florida as to its geographical political climate are looking at a map based on 1979. Okay. Broward, Dade, Palm Beach, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Orange, maybe Seminole, Duval. That's it. Okay. Go look at the populations of Brevard County now. Go look at the population of Polk County. Look at the population of Pasco County. Go to Manatee County. Go down to, it's like people who are, the Democratic Party don't even realize that all of Southwest Florida even exist. Lee, Collier, Charlotte, places like that. It's like Democrats are absolutely oblivious to the exurb counties in Florida. So yeah. Senate path is probably Alaska, Iowa, Maine, and North Carolina. Yeah. I mean, I those are the ones that I'm going to say are the ones, right? And keep Michigan. Okay. I think North Carolina is a given. I'm almost at the past point of saying Alaska is a given. If Plattner is the nominee, I don't know if he's going to win. I think he comes off as a little bit unhinged, and I think that's not necessarily something that's going to go at Maine voters. And we see, and the problem with Maine with the polls right now is we just see those all over the place, right? So we can't, like, unlike the Texas one where we do see Crockett and Tallarico doing well against, we can't say that with the two candidates in Maine right now. Iowa flips before Iowa. I could see that. I think that's the case because of the candidate. If you didn't have Sherrod Brown, who is a former incumbent senator, I think then Iowa flips before Ohio. And there comes a point. I mean, like I said, the polls are kind of useless right now, but I don't want to say Alaska is a lock, but it feels good. Okay. No, I'm not from Texas. I am from I'm from all over the place. I'm from Chicago originally, but I am not from Texas. Thank you for subbing. Appreciate that. I'll probably get some of the 59 subscribers that I've lost over the last 7 days. See, and this is another thing about the History Channel. On my History Channel, I've gained over 200 subscribers the last 7 days. On this channel, I've lost 59. It's just what it is. But I will say it is nice to do an election live stream on a Saturday night, because then I don't have to work tomorrow, right? I can relax. We'll see what happens in Michigan. I'm not. I feel iffy about Michigan right now. All right, got some Texas people in here. Yeah, Alaska has some good momentum. No, I think Iowa. I think Iowa's it has more of a potential to become Democratic than Ohio, easily. Yeah, I'd vote for Haley Stevens. I'm talking about in the general, right? I think it's just rich that we're having a lot of people now bitching about how Trump now wants to make Gaza basically a resort, but they didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris because she had this nuanced idea of a two-state solution. It's like, gee, are you fucking kidding me? Don't come bitching to me about that one. There was a clear difference between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris when it came to that. Yeah, it's just, to me, Michigan's a little bit um mm, I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna do something. Okay, I do have it. Done. All right, I thought I had one. I've been wanting to get rid of that latest YouGov poll thing that's been up there forever. Yep, still nothing from Texas. I figure we would have had something by now, especially since we're not talking about a regular election. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so someone's mentioning Iowa. That's congressional district. Okay, congressional district 4 will not flip. Congressional district 1 is the southeast one. I think that will. Congressional district 3 is the southwest one. That looks good. I'm not ruling out congressional district 2. The incumbent is running for U.S. Senate in that race. Ashley Hinson, I think. So I think the Democrats, depending on what happens, could win 3 out of Iowa and a Senate seat. I think it's totally possible. And I've been very bullish on Iowa for a while. Whenever I hear Port Arthur, I think of Australia. Yeah, I think the Iowa second is watch it. It's one yeah, watch it. See, because you do have something in this election that you don't have in the others, is you have, and we're seeing this with the special election, you do have an enthusiasm of Democrats to turn out to vote in these special elections compared to Republicans. And could we use these special elections that we're seeing as kind of proxies to um, who has the enthusiasm on their side as far as voting? Yeah, we can. And all indications are it's that the enthusiasm is on the Democrat side significantly, not even small amounts, significantly. Oh, I was hoping this would only be like an hour and a half stream. How is it looking? We've been waiting for results for 2 hours. We got our early vote and vote by mail dump right as the polls closed. And now, and I think what somebody mentioned, I think that's the way it's going to go. I'm wondering if they're just going to count them all. What I'm going to do, let me go. So I did this before. If I download some results, I wonder if they might be different. I doubt it, but oh, we got to close that. Don't save. Yeah, nothing. Would this be a flip? Yes. If the Democrats win this seat in Texas, it would be a flip. It would be a significant flip. It went 60-40 for the Republicans in 2022, the last midterm election. So it would be a flip. It'd be a significant flip. I mean, I don't believe that we don't even have any precinct level results. I'm actually getting tired. And also, just so people know, even though I'm going to be laying low on this channel for a while, I'll probably do, like I said, I'll probably do live streams. But let's see. I do have a Discord that we go on, I don't have too many people on the Discord, 60 some, 68 members. And yeah, so if you want to be a member of the Discord, I will go ahead and put it in the chat right now. So there you go. If that's something you're into, I'm on it every now and then, but yeah. No, my other channel that I'm working on mostly now is my election history channel. So So this is the channel I work on the most right now. It is significantly better for me doing this channel. I like doing this channel. Can't say I'm a real fan of doing current politics, but Let's Talk Elections is 100% is less partisan. He just shills for the Democrats, doesn't he? So I don't get that. See, and that's one of the problems I don't really want to do, and I'll say one of the reasons why I have been thinking about um I've been thinking about just totally not doing this channel anymore. Maybe I'll do it. Is it just seems like I have to dumb shit down for to get 100,000 people like on this channel, right? Or you got to either dumb stuff down or you have to. I'm not saying you people who are here, you're here for a reason. But if you want to become big, you either got to sit there and say, the Democrats are going to win every single thing on the face of the earth, or just be like Harry Enton, who is just like points at a number and says, this number says this. Oh, thanks for the insight. Okay, here's the point I have. Here's the issue I have with Let's Talk Elections. Okay, we're getting some precinct results now. All right, let's go ahead and look at this. Problem I have with Let's Talk Elections is he can't do the stuff that we're doing now. I just feel it's a little bit just elementary. Wow, this is some blue. This is some blue. Let's go ahead. We're talking about coming up in here. So let's see this. This was a Donald Trump 5940 precinct here. Completely recorded. Okay, it's not giving us the results. Like I can't even. Okay, so let's look at that. So we're talking about all these precincts here. So right here in the presidential election, this was your dividing line between going for Harris and going for Trump. As you can see, we have a number of precincts right here. This would be northwest of the airport. Remember, there are two airports in this area. So there's the Air Force Base. Is it a naval? Actually, technically a naval base. I'm not sure, but right here, you're seeing some. Let's see. Do we have any in Saginaw? No, it doesn't look like we have those coming. Okay, we do here. Okay, it's completely reported. That's nice, but give me the results. Okay, so the main thing we want to look at first and foremost is that we are having some votes now starting to come in. It's only 3,000 votes, not a huge amount, but we're not even seeing the numbers shift here. So, that's good news. Okay. But I want to get this. Okay. We have some completed precincts here. Okay, so what can we glean from this? First and foremost, we can glean, geez, come on. First and foremost, we can glean that I like to see what this precinct did. We can glean that Haltom City and going up into Richland Hills and then going up here into Keller, they have higher turnout because they have not counted yet. Now this one is a Republican precinct. Let's see what it did last time. It was just south of Keller. It's this one. So that was a 64-35. That went Trump. I'm going to go ahead and download the precinct results now. See what we have. Okay, so okay. See, again, the problem I have with Let's Talk Collection, it's basically like Harry Enton. Here's a number, it's higher or lower. I mean, like, I can teach my dog to do that. And it is a Democrats doing great all the time thing. And I'll tell you, I lost a lot of subscribers when I said there were problems in Pennsylvania. Well, oh well. All right, so let's see this precinct. So let's look at some of these. Okay, let's look at some of these precincts that we have now. So it does look like this is one of the Saginaw ones. Let's see what this one. So this Saginaw one is 46-49. That one 65% for Trump. Let's do, I'm only doing the Democrat. So it went 34% for Kamala Harris. So 46-49. Remet. Okay, so in this precinct, right, which one is it? Right here. Remet won for, okay, so that means if election day votes are in, that means they're counted. Okay. Remet got 47.7% of the vote compared to Kamala Harris's 34% of the vote. So huge swing there. But what's interesting is let's look at some of these other Democratic ones. Let's see, what's the most Republican? Okay, these two have not come in yet. All these, well, this one actually, so this one, let's see. That one looks like it's come in. Oh, that one, it's come in Republican. Okay, this one, 64% for Donald Trump to 34% for Kamala Harris. That is precinct 4053. Okay, let's see what precinct 4053 did. Remet 157. Okay, let's go back to this. This precinct right here, Kamala Harris won 34%. Remet has won 57.6% of the votes in this precinct. No, I'm not saying he works for Kamala Harris. Somebody else said he works. I'm just like, I don't think there's objectivity to it. But I can't blame him. If you're objective in this field on YouTube, if you're objective, you sink. If you go with one narrative, you get the people. It's unfortunately the way YouTube is. Okay, so let's see. Now, it might be interesting to see how some of these other... Okay, so like we have a North Richland Hills precinct here, which would be this one, 55-43. These are the ones that we want to see if the swings are happening on them, right? So 43% for Kamala Harris. What precinct is that? 30-41. This went 55% for Remet. So this one that went 43% for Harris, 55% for Remet. So these are good swings that are happening right now for the Democrats. Let's go back to this map, see if there's anything else. Don't really have anything in and around Keller, but these are blue. I mean, if you're looking, this whole area up here, from Keller and all the way down, anything just north. I'm sure this might be still within the city limits of you know, of Fort Worth, but these are all red. Tonight they're going blue. At least these few are. We haven't looked down here. So this is significant. Now, actually, there is one thing I want to look at. Is anybody in the chat from Fort Worth? Or from that area, Dallas-Fort Worth area? And if you are from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, can you tell me where the toll roads are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? I'm interested to see people who are near toll roads, how they're doing today. Okay. Dallas toll, like I'm wondering how they're voting today. So the toll road seems to come like this around here. Looks like a toll road. There's a toll road around here. Okay, Fort Worth. Like in this area, there's a toll road. So right here, these are two precincts right here that would be affected. These are two precincts right here that would be affected by toll roads. Now, the reason I mention this is Remet has talked a lot about toll roads. Okay, as a matter of fact, we can even see an interchange there. So let's look at 4480. Okay, let's back out. So I can Bentbrook. Okay, that's this one. We got these two. So this was one that went 34% for Kamala Harris, and then this one 36%. So let's look at this one. 4480. Remet won that one with 50.9% of the votes. So that one, Remet won with 50.9%. So he barely got the win, but it's a good swing nonetheless. Let's look. Was that the other one that we had right here? 1337. Remet won 56% of the vote here. Kamala Harris won 36%. So that's huge. It's a lot of people from Texas. I live in Lubbock. Yeah. This district's a little far from Lubbock. Yeah. I went to Texas Tech University for a week. Now you got to tell me if you're in Lubbock. I need to know this. Because when I was there back in 1995, 96, had to be 96 because No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom from No Doubt was out. And that's a CD I'd play all the time. When the wind comes in strong, does it still smell like cow shit? I want to know that. If you're from Lubbock, please let me know. Because that was the thing. When the wind came in, it was strong. All right. So this is a map let's put it this way. The networks are not going to call it, or you know, Decision Desk HQ is not going to call it, because there's still a lot of votes out. But I'm pretty confident, without a doubt, this is a pickup for the Democrats. This is a pickup for the Democrats, and this could be a pretty huge swing, because we're talking about going from 40% to 56.42%. Okay. No, that's just the one thing I remember. It was like my red car would turn brown because of the dust storms, and then the cow shit smell. Oh my god. The only thing, okay, and I want to keep this now. I went on that tangent when it came to and it's not him. I mean, it's not him personally. Like I said, you got to do what you got to do. But when I was talking about let's talk elections, um, is that we got off on that tangent. So let's come back. I guess it's just kind of I get irked when people are just real. It's not like really in depth. So that's my thing. So, and that's why I'm going to do this channel less, because I'm not willing to just say, hey, this is a poll that says 50%. Have a nice day. No. Okay. So with that being said, we kind of deviated from that. Let's get back to the election. Okay. So this is going to be a Democratic win, first and foremost. This is going to be a Democratic win. Looking at the precincts right now, looking at the precincts that have come in, and the precincts that are left, we might not see a huge change in the results. Okay? Because we are seeing these district precincts come in as Democratic. So we might not see a huge change in the results. Okay? But, so if you're the Democrats, you're looking at this and you're saying it's great, right? But we're going to have a low turnout election. And it's looking at this point that it could be possibly significantly lower than what we had in the original primary election. And if that's the case, then this is a good result for the Democrats, but it's a low turnout election. Okay. Let's go back to that Senate race that we had. We had 118,000 votes here. Okay. Let me get back to this. We're not even halfway there yet. So we're not even halfway there, and we got a pretty good chunk of precincts that have already reported. So I think that is, I think that's where, if you're the Democrats, you have to say this is good. You got to look at it in a positive way, but we shouldn't be looking at this as all of a sudden Texas is going to go blue. To me, and what did I say at the beginning? I said that I'm looking, if you're the Democrats, I'm looking for, what number did I say originally? 150,000 I said you want the turnout to be 150,000 and the Democrats to at least win, to sit there and say, we're seeing a movement here. So what can we glean from this? The one thing we can glean from it is that it is a Democratic win. Thing we can glean from it is chances are that people who are more likely going to vote in the midterm election are more likely to be Democrats than Republicans. But by no means does that mean, but it does mean that also that a lot of people are just not turning out. And again, it's a special election, but it was a well-known election. Let's look at vote types. So we can see Ramet is doing well when it comes to election day votes. And honestly, with that many let me make sure. I got the data here. There. Unless there's a total at the bottom. Okay, there's a total at the bottom. Yeah, so I mean, this is not a high election day number. This is not a high election day number for all the precincts that we see. We have all these precincts here, and we're only at 2600, right? 2700, 2738. So, yeah, so it doesn't look like that having the election on Saturday necessarily turned out increased voter turnout. And we do see that a lot. There's some things that we always hear the myth of, oh, if you do this, it turns it out. And then we look at the data and it just doesn't happen. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, somebody mentioned, we have low turnout now. That's helping Democrats. Yeah, whoever, Trump motivated stupid. Like I said, the Republicans are the 3 R's: racist, religious, and retarded. That's their voting coalition. Someone talking about people speaking English or something like that. I don't see. Trust me, a lot of people that are native English speakers really suck at English. I know. I teach English. Yeah, I mean, what's shocking me about getting north here is, I mean, obviously this isn't a shock, but all of these, I mean, Saginaw here, but all of these being blue. There's so many. This, and even down here, like, this should be more red. It's not. Of course, we got to see how many more come in here. I mean, yeah, this part right here is shockingly blue. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh, come on. Okay. I don't know. I'm not, I mean, Claudia Sheinbaum's fine, but I think she's more placating to Trump than fighting against him. I wish Carney were our president. And the Brits don't think Americans speak English. Hey, you have an extra U and flavor. I don't get that. I can go off on English when it comes to British English because to me, British English uses perfect tense absolutely incorrect. Like, absolutely incorrect. So, yeah. And the word got, using got for have. Yeah, but when it comes to British English and perfect tense, oh yeah. I have this, but when the action is already completed, you should just say it's completed, keep it in past tense. You shouldn't put it in present perfect. Okay, that's a whole thing. Yeah. I'm not a British English fan at all. Color. Yeah, like color, flavor. I mean, the PRI is just a patronage party, to be honest, right? I have a ton of videos that I got such a line of videos for the History Channel. Again, it takes me a lot of time to do those, which is the reason why I'm taking a break from this. Is it's just I don't have enough hours in a day to do all of this. Surprised we just had one vote dump and we haven't had anything since. Oh, I wonder when the next vote dump is going to be. When was this done? 27 minutes ago? Maybe at the top of the hour, they'll do another vote dump. We'll see. Tony, thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Red Eagle Politics, from what I've seen from them, again, people who shill for the Republican Party. See, that's the thing with yeah, just shill for the Republican Party and don't actually say anything. See, that's the problem. It's like just a lot of these ones that do quote unquote numbers, they don't do numbers. They just read something. Okay. It's like me looking at this book and saying, this book here says The Duel, right? That's not analyzing anything. Yeah, so I bet they're going to have something at the top of the hour. I mean, we'll see if Keir Starmer is even a candidate. Now, that's one thing I might do. I might do elections in other countries because I just like them more. Who won? Just coming back. I'm pretty confident in saying Ramet is going to win this election. So I am putting my money on Ramet to win this election. I don't see with the precincts that we have going now that it's going to flip it toward the Republicans. But we don't know. Let's see when the next dumping of votes will be. I'm assuming that we're going to have a dumping of votes at the top of the hour because the last dump of votes they said updated 28 minutes ago. Oh no, at the bottom of the hour. It's 9:22. I was thinking this was the time right now. So yeah, so I don't know when they're going to do. So 54, maybe in 2 minutes they'll do a dump. Let's see if they do it now. But Kornacki, okay, now I'll say one thing about Kornacki. He's not a numbers guy. He's a reporter. Like my degree back here is in voting behaviors and voting behavior and actually doing the science behind this. I'll give Steve Kornacki credit. He has done a good job over the years. He has improved. He has actually done well. I'll give him that. Yeah, that's the reason I'm not saying the Republican's name because I'll butcher it. Which, I mean, I don't care because Republicans like to butcher people. See, the Republicans like to be mean just for fun. Like, what horrible people. Yeah, Hungary, I do want to cover that. But again, it's more the fact of, it's more about, do I have enough time to do it? Because I'm doing these other history videos. That's what it's really more focused on. No, Harry Enton is horrible. Oh my god, that guy. Whenever I see that guy on TV, I want to stick knives in my eyes. Oh my god, he's bad. He's just so bad, like really bad. Okay, Paul, good point. All fascists are mean. Fair enough. You're right there. You're right there. Fair enough. Yeah, we still don't have another update. Democrats will win this unless something drastic happens in these suburbs. Thoughts on Jesse Waters? I don't watch Fox. I don't watch conservative anything. I don't want my brain to die. Yeah, Dutch Gust, wasn't that that was the Georgia 121st state house, wasn't it? Another upset by Democrats. Do you have a good news source for this Epstein? I really do not give a shit about the Epstein files. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing. The Epstein files are not going to change a damn thing. Trump people are still going to be the Kool-Aid drinkers and vote for his party. People who are against him are going to say, look, the Epstein, they're not going to do a damn thing. As a matter of fact, I truly believe that Trump and his DOJ pushed out the Epstein files yesterday to distract from the fascism happening. That's my belief. Yeah, but see, so I see what people are saying. Keep your enemy, you know, keep your friends closer, your enemies closer. Yeah, but it's just like I just know whatever the dumb, stupid shit they're gonna say, it's just gonna be dumb and stupid, right? It's just like, what is the dumbest thing? Okay, that's it. The problem with with the friends is they're just sitting there like going, oh, I mean, like they're just the Democrats are just the do nothing party. They've been the do nothing party since probably Barack Obama's second term. But even though I am saying the Democrats are doing well, so I see how many Antifa members are here. I am being paid by George Soros. He gave me my check this morning, so that's why I decided to do the live stream. Yeah, it's kind of like it's like shit like that. It's like I mean, it's like there's so how many conspiracy theories do you need to believe to be a Republican? 6, 7? Like how many do you need to be in like that like thing, right? I mean, and that's it. It's like how many like Antifa is like it's it's like it's crazy. Well, if you're still waiting for your 2020 BLM payment, you need to call them. Okay, get get on the horn and ask for it. I don't know if that it goes through Soros or not, so I don't know. You might have to go through a different HR department. Okay, so we're still waiting for more. votes, no numbers. I want to wait for at least one update before we sign out for the evening. I'd like to at least get one more, and hopefully that's going to give us a lot. But I'm just saying, if we go down here and look at vote types, and only 2,738 out of all these precincts are there, then I don't think there's going to be a significant amount that's going to, on election day, that's going to change a lot of what we're seeing now. I don't think so. But that turnout number is just so low. That's the thing. It's like, so like the early voting last time was 63,000. Not even near that here. 24, 34, 44. Yeah, like significantly, like 2/3 of what it was before. Does Ossoff run 2028? I don't know. I don't know what Georgia's law is regarding some states I think do have laws where if you're running for president, you actually have to resign. I don't think that would be the case in Georgia. But I don't know. I don't know if you would. We'll have to see. Thank you for updating the membership. Appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look. I mean, I think right now 2028 is just way too early. I honestly think Ossoff is someone who just needs to stay in the Senate. There are some people like the Elizabeth Warrens, the John Ossoffs, the Raphael Warnocks, and all that. I think they do better work in the Senate than they would running for president. There's some people that you just are U.S. senators. Like I could probably name 3 U.S. senators and make up one name, and you wouldn't even know one of those names were made up, right? So yeah. The Tennessee First is so Christie, is that like I don't know. Tennessee First and Second I think are the longest Republican held districts in the South. Consecutive longest held Republican districts in the South. No Democrat is going to win those. So I don't know much about the first or second, if you're even talking about Democrats. So I just don't really know. I just know that those were Republican during the solid South days. Yeah. Frank, thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Just want to know that your work is appreciated on the History Channel. We will ever get foreign stuff again. Yes, you will get foreign stuff again. I'll tell you in a second. I know it doesn't make money, but they're still good. Maybe once in a blue moon. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Frank. Yes, so just to give you an idea, I do have a schedule. That's another thing about British English, right? The way that people say schedule, like shesh or something, right? So yeah, I'm not a British English person, but here's my schedule. I'm going to do next weekend, hopefully a week from today, I'm going to do the 1994 Texas governor's race. I've already started doing research for that. Then the Alaska election, because I'm trying to do every 2 weeks. I'm doing the state series. After that, the 1993 Canadian election. That's one that I want to do. The foreign elections and foreign political parties and stuff like that, I have scheduled for now. I have the 1993 Canadian election, the rise and fall. That shouldn't be the fall. The rise of the Rassemblement National in France. I have the rise and fall, but that's pretty much the rise. And the rise of Nigel Farage. So I think a lot of people don't know about Nigel Farage and UKIP. pre-Brexit. At least here, they don't know about him pre-Brexit, right? So those are some of the videos that I have planned. Now, as far as my list of videos that I have for um possible stuff in the future, for international stuff. Let's see. I just want to reload this, see if we got new numbers. We don't. So what I have planned is Communist France, the PRI. Somebody mentioned the PRI. I have that on my list. The rise and fall of the French Socialist Party, the rise of the AFD, the rise of the Rassemblement National, the 2002 French election, Chirac versus Le Pen, the 1977 Spanish election after Franco was gone, like the first election after that, the Sudeten German party in Czechoslovakia, Olaf Palme. Obviously, he was assassinated, but he has a weird history in and of itself. The 1974 UK elections, plural, the rise and fall, and maybe rise again, of the Lib Dems. So I want to do something on the Lib Dems. Nigel Farage, the 1979 UK election, how Churchill won, then lost, then won. So that's on there. The rise and fall of UKIP. The rise and fall of the Ulster Unionist. I don't know if I'm going to do that one. That might be a little bit too niche. Die Linke in Germany. Now this one I don't know if it'll do well, but it's a interesting topic of mine with French politics, which is Bernard Tapie versus Jean-Marie Le Pen. So if you ever watch, that might just be a little bit too esoteric. Jack Layton, the Reform Party in Canada and the Progressive Party merger. 1975 Tory leadership race in the UK, 2011 Canadian election, 1993 Canadian election, Ukrainian election. People have asked me to do those. I might do those. The Bob Hawke and Keating clash. So the leadership spills that happened in Australia, Maloney's rise in Italy, one about Dubček and how hockey game caused the fall of Dubček. Want to do one about Peter Garrett? That's a little bit too esoteric, I think. People don't know Peter Garrett is I guess he still is the lead singer of Midnight Oil. And then he ran for Parliament, House of Representatives in Australia, won. He became, I think, the environment minister under Julia Gillard, was it? I think. The 1864 Democratic nomination, okay, during the Civil War. Want to do the video about Adlai Stevenson, the rise and fall of French socialism. So those are the international ones that I have on my list right now. That's a few years worth of videos. So yeah. So let me go. I see I have another super chat. So thank you again, Daniel. While East Tennessee is Republican and has been for over a century, do you think it's an ideological thing or a tribal thing? From what I've seen, I don't think East Tennessee is a cultural conservatives middle. It is. So I am. So one thing I am planning on doing, and I have already started doing the research on it, do want to talk about what people call the big switch or whatever it is. And in the South, I mean, I just know of it as the partisan realignment. In the Appalachian Mountain area, so Western Virginia, Western North Carolina, and Eastern Tennessee, those areas were very strong pro-union during the Civil War. And this is what really started it. Those areas were very strongly pro-union because, and thus pro-Republican, because they were, a lot of these communities were in the mountains and the hills, and they were self-sufficient. They didn't like the idea of fighting for the Confederacy. because the Confederacy, because they were self-sufficient, right? So for example, I did the video about Alabama today, and I could have gone into this, and I should have maybe, is that the Democratic Party controlled Alabama. The Democratic Party and the Whig Party as well. The Whig Party had people as well. They all supported the idea of slavery. They all supported the institution of slavery, and so on. And the people that lived in the hill country, in the hill area of Tennessee, I mean, talking about Tennessee, they didn't want to fight to keep a system in the South that they weren't even connected to because they were far removed. So they became pro-union. They were very, very much pro-union to start off with. And as time went on, they just remained pro-union, considered themselves separated from the rest of the state in Tennessee. And then, and that's why, like even Andrew Johnson was from this area. So yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind. So Andrew Johnson was from this area. And with Andrew Johnson being there, he kind of was like an outcast, right? He was kind of an outcast everywhere. So yeah, I don't think Tennessee would change because it has become ideologically conservative. You have to realize, unlike West Virginia, unlike Kentucky that had very strong mining, a very strong mining history. I mean, Eastern Tennessee does as well, but not like Ohio, not like Kentucky, not like West Virginia. Those voters were all Democrats. Now they're all Republicans. So I think it is hill country, right? So I think they are maybe they are still conservative. I would say that. So yeah. I just listed off a bunch of I don't want to do probably Japanese videos. Like all the videos that I just mentioned, and the ones I already have on my channel, the Rise of Macron, I did a whole entire 2-hour so I don't know how many people know about Sinn Féin. I did a whole 2-hour and 35-minute video about the history of Sinn Féin. That was a mistake. I was like, yeah, let me do a Sean Munger very long format video. Ooh, that was brutal. That was hard. I'm not going to do that again. But I know about these subjects. I don't know anything about Japan, honestly. So it would be a big learning curve. Zelensky and Poroshenko in 2018. But I want to get back. I want to go before that, right? So I really want to get into more regarding, basically from the point of when it split from the Soviet Union on, because there were enough, at least the 21st century elections, right? Maybe not the early one, not the ones in the 1990s, but the 20th century or 21st century election. Rudd versus Gillard is more interesting than see, okay, you know what? I'll admit, let's see. Do we have any results coming in yet? I just want to check. I disagree, but it might be a preference of mine. Like I have 3. Okay, I have like 5 favorite all-time politicians. 5. And I think I've done a video for most of them. Bernie Sanders, Paul Wellstone, Jack Layton, René Lévesque in Quebec, and Bob Hawke. And I'd have to say, out of those 5, Bob Hawke is like my favorite. And I tell people this all the time. If the Democrats want to win in the United States, find somebody like Bob Hawke, you'll win every election. Um, yeah, beds are burning, right? So yeah, and I guess like the drummer or somebody like that from Midnight Oil just died a few days ago, I think. What are your thoughts of a hypothetical Theodore Roosevelt like presidential candidate and LBJ? Um, be an interesting mix, but that's kind of like the attitude you need to have if you're running for president. Okay. Okay. Okay, so he was picked by Rudd? Okay, because I mean it was Rudd first and Gillard, then Rudd again, right? Okay. So I didn't know if it was just under Gillard. I was thinking that Garrett got elected when Gillard ran. But okay, that makes sense. So I'm just checking up on all this while we're waiting for some numbers. Still at 48,408. Nothing new. Yeah, I'd like to learn a little bit more about Austrian elections and stuff. Women only. That's interesting. I've noticed, with the exception of Claudia Sheinbaum, women like who are right leaning seem to be the ones that win. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's a pretty good point. I'm trying to think of women of the left. If we're talking about national, I mean, you could say Nicola Sturgeon with the SNP, but if we're talking about like a pure within a state, because Angela Merkel, I mean, maybe not far right, but like Angela Merkel, uh, Margaret Thatcher, Kim Campbell. It's an interesting one. I don't know the dynamics of Indian politics in Indira Gandhi. Maybe somebody in the comments could mention that. Yeah. Let's see. So that is now one pet project that I have been wanting to do is a traveling history channel where it's a travel channel and I do historical stuff. That is something I have been thinking about doing. Again, I don't like it, but we really need one. We do need, yes. Um, oh, that. Oh, wait. Thank you. I actually had the Gough Whitlam dismissal as a planned video, and then I decided to do something else, and I never got around. I don't have it on my list. So thank you for mentioning the Gough Whitlam thing and Malcolm Fraser. I want to do that one. Thank you. I noticed I didn't have it on my list, though I had planned on doing that. The reason I hadn't done it yet is because it's really hard to find some resources on. Somebody did give me some, so I need to read them. It was really hard to find resources on uh, the actual that whole thing with Whitlam, Fraser, Kerr, and all that. It was hard to find that info, but I found some. So yeah, thank you for reminding me of that one. Um, the Whig Party. I haven't heard that name since middle school. Funny. Um, well, if I do traveling history, it's mostly go to where historical events happen. So, um, there's a train outside here. Um, so like I had thought about going to. As a matter of fact, I probably have my traveling itinerary. Yeah. So I had planned on going to India Do we have any results? I'm only talking about this to kill time while we're waiting for results. If I do go to India, I did plan on going to where both Gandhis were assassinated. Well, Mahatma Gandhi and Indira Gandhi, they were like assassinated like within a 15-minute walk of one another. And then go down to Madras where near where Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. I wanted to go to the place. I wanted to go to Amritsar and go to where the Amritsar massacre was. I wanted to go to the place. I forgot what it's called. That Gandhi ended the Salt March. I wanted to go there, and then go to the Mumbai attacks, and then go to Bhopal where the Union Carbide incident happened. Then I wanted to get a plane over to Vietnam. I wanted to go to Hanoi, look at the places there. Wanted to go to the MBM Phu, where the French were defeated, and then go down and go to Saigon and Da Nang to look at places during the Tet Offensive. Wanted to go to My Lai. Wanted to go to the cave on the Chinese Vietnam border where Ho Chi Minh was there during the revolution and all. So I got a ton of places on here that I want to do. So yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, I missed the super chat. Let me go back to it. You gained a lot of fans tonight, mate. Please keep it up with these live streams on the current races. Keller, Texas here. Oh, okay. Keller, Texas here. Newbie from Wisconsin, ready to make history here in Texas. Don't go to bed yet, Grandpa. See, here's the thing. I am a very early riser, like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. So I'm just like that. So I'm one of those people that this is going to be one of the hard things about when I move to Europe. I like things early. I get my laptop, I go over to Starbucks, and you might be saying Starbucks, it's like the only option I have. Okay. I go to Starbucks and just sit there and start working on like my script or do my research or whatever for my history videos. So it gets pretty intense. Yeah. So we're just waiting for numbers here. So let's see. And I'm thinking that the live streams are going to be better than the regular videos. Maybe pop one video up a week. Maybe. Yeah, because see, everyone mentioned, so someone's mentioning that because yeah, you had Rudd Gillard, and then you had Abbott, and Abbott Turnbull, and then Turnbull Morrison, right? So yeah. Danielson, thank you again. Indira Gandhi was more of a center left candidate, but it was during the time when Indian National Congress was dominant, and she was the dog. Yeah, she was Nehru. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that. They think that she's related to Mohandas K. Gandhi, but she's related to Nehru, right? Exactly. So yeah, those are the places I want to go. Do we have any votes coming in yet? Geez, Tarrant County, come on here. Okay, nope, not yet. But like, let me give you some of the other places that I want to go to, like France, for example. I want to go to where the first photo was taken in the Place de la République. Go to World War II locations, the attack locations for the 2015, November 13th, 2015. Action Directe attacks. Go to some French revolutionary sites. Like there are some revolutionary sites that people are just not aware of that are so interesting. But I guess it depends on if you like traveling, if you like historical places. Okay. Again, 59 minutes ago, they updated. So maybe they'll update in a minute now, hopefully. Okay. But like, so for example, here, let's see. Where did it go? Okay. 60 minutes. I'm going to reload, see if we get something. No, we still don't have anything. That's just unfortunate. Okay. So I'm going to show you, like, if you go over here, it's Varennes. Okay. Hron. Varennes. Where is it? Yeah. Varennes en Angers. Okay, here we go. Argonne. Is that the river that goes through here? Is that the Argonne? Okay, so like right here. So many people know there's a little town in France and all that. So Louis XVI was trying to leave Paris. And it was people ahead were told that he was gonna leave Paris. And they blocked this bridge. It's obviously not the original bridge, but they blocked the bridge here. They actually, in fact, this is Rue Louis XVI right here. They actually held him in a house that was here, and I think this might actually be part of the original house. Him, Marie Antoinette, and their children were held under guard until the revolutionary forces came and brought them back to Paris. And it's just like this little sleepy place, and it's like right here was where Louis XVI was captured. And I just find stuff like that absolutely fascinating. Still nothing. Oh, I have another super chat. Thank you very much. Indira Gandhi declared emergency and made India a dictatorship for like 2 years. People couldn't even gather in groups of four in public. Indians threw her out uh, at the next chance of election. Yeah, I'm kind of worried that we're going to get in that state here in the United States, to be honest with you. Where in Europe are you planning to move? I mean, personally, I'm probably going to stay in the United States for a while. My dream place my whole entire life has been to move to Paris, and that's kind of what I hope to accomplish. So Paris is where I want to live. Yeah, I mean with the Crockett and Tallarico thing, because that primary is coming up in what, a month from now? There's a few primaries coming up in March. We have those. We have the ones here in Illinois. We have primaries as well. So yeah, we will have some primaries coming up. Um, Personally, me, when it comes to the primary in Texas, I'm not saying one side or the other. I'm just kind of I'm going to report that primary, and that's basically it. I'm not going to do anything else. But in Illinois, Juliana Stratton is the person who I said I'm going to vote for. I still have not seen the debate with her, but it seems like my vote is going to stay that way. So I'm very much invested in that one. Yeah, I mean, actually, when my channel started taking off, I was actually in Paris for a month. No, I have Slovak citizenship, and I will be going there to get my passport and my identification card. But I'm a European Union citizen, so because I'm already a citizen of Slovakia now, I became that 2 months ago, so I can live anywhere in the European Union, right? Um, yeah, the third is the Texas primary, right? March 3rd, and then 2 weeks from that, I think, is going to be the Illinois. Well, it might be a week. 7, 8, 9. No, it's going to be like 2 weeks afterwards. Oh, interesting. My late father-in-law was in the Whitlam government, and we lost all five Tasmania seats. Tasmania is a wild place to watch elections. That is the one, and there is news, and I hope this is true. If there okay, there are two places I would love to live. I've never been to. I've never been to Australia. I'm just going to say that. I am somebody who loves watching Australian news and stuff like that. So I follow politics and stuff, not as closely lately, but closely. They're talking about doing a new deal with the European Union where people are citizens of the European Union and Australians that they can go work in Australia, like European Union citizens can work in Australia for 4 years, visa free. And then the same thing going to Europe. I hope that happens. I so hope that happens. I mean, and see, one thing about, do we have any new numbers? Still do not have any new numbers. Come on. One of the things, okay, so one of the things about Paris and moving there, it's not a Trump thing. It's not it's a, I've always, ever since I visited there in 1998, I was like, I want to move here. This is the city I want to move to. It was the first time I had ever visited mainland Europe. Well, actually, Europe in general. I fell in love with Europe, and I specifically fell in love with Paris. So it's not like I'm leaving because of Trump. It's something I've always wanted to do. I personally do not feel connected to the United States whatsoever. I do not feel like an American. Yeah, the Jan Schakowsky primary is going to be interesting. I don't know how many people are in that. Yeah, North Carolina. I don't think New Zealand has that deal. I don't know as much about New Zealand politics. I'd have to do that. Okay, so this is a pretty good. Thanks, Frank, for the question. So this is where it's a little bit different. So speaking of Illinois, will there ever be a Mike Madigan video? I actually have. Literally in there, I have a picture from a newspaper of my grandfather. I didn't even know who he was until recently, like 3 years, 2 years ago, through DNA tests and all that. Picture of him with Mike Madigan. They're both shady as shit. Anyway, no, so I probably won't do Mike Madigan or anything like that because my channel is more about like campaigns, elections, political parties, and that. So I'm not doing about like really like about a lot of politicians themselves. I have done that, but like if you look at my video about Paul Wellstone and Howard Dean. I did one on Howard Dean and Paul Wellstone. Haven't done as well, which is unfortunate. I really talk about their history, but then really focus on their electoral history. So I don't go too much into what they did personally and stuff like that. I don't really talk about their legislative career. I don't do that. It's mostly elections driven. Okay. So that's probably why I won't do anything regarding Mike Madigan. And so funny because I did the Chicago mayoral elections of 79 and 83. And I talk a lot in there about Ed Verdoliak. Like you go to Chicago now, Ed Verdoliak's law firm, I guess it's run by his son now, it's just like all over the place, just everywhere. See, I don't know. Okay, do we have anything yet? Okay, there's my analytics. My analytics on my Streamlabs has just stopped working. 8 minutes ago. Okay, here we go. We got some more. We're up to 54,000. All right, so yeah, I don't. So a bunch of other stuff came. I don't. In his percentage went up. I don't know how this is gonna. Oops. Gonna improve. So we see the North Richland Hills area go very, very much blue. So this is interesting, right? This was a precinct we looked at before. So yeah, let's just go to the map. Let's go to this map as well. So I want you to see how red, once we get out of Fort Worth out here, how red this gets. Like, we can see that the dividing line previously is like right around here, right? This is where the Democratic area, all, well, except for a little bit out here too. This is Democratic, but all of that blue, blue, blue. And here's the thing. These were mostly all Democratic areas coming in. I mean, Republican areas, excuse me, coming in. And his numbers aren't changing. It's still saying a 56-43 race. No, they don't need to stop the count. They can still have the count go. Let's see. And so we might end it up right now, but like, just a few precincts in here. There's nothing more. There really isn't that much more out right now. There really is not that much more out. This is where we're at right now. This is a win. I wonder if they're going to call it a win on decision desk. This is easily a win. This is not. There's not enough votes out there. Let's look at this one part that jets out here. Let's go to days redistricting. So like, you can see how this is. There is one part. Let me see. Okay, so there's a part that goes out into Arlington. So all that part over in Arlington is going, by the stadium as well. All the parts over in Arlington don't seem to be in yet, but they're Democratic. That's right here. And then you have the Haltom City area, and then a little bit of this area in near Fort Worth, near the airport. These are going to be all Democratic precincts. Like that's the thing. And everything that's out right now, with the exception of these precincts up here, okay, everything that's basically out now, this Arlington area, this area, are going to go Democratic. This is it. It's over. It's done. It's completed. Democrats win. That's it. That election's over. So, like, even here, like, let's look at some of these precincts. Okay, let's look at some of these, because we got some. Okay, some of these are very Republican, because this is where it stops. But let's see. That was a 61. I want to see if we got some. Oops. Come on. Yeah. They need to make this that you can just pan. So like Keller was really split. Now let's look at those precincts in Keller. Okay, so we're talking about this one and this one. Wait. Yes. Okay. So this was 67, 64. So let's look at this one. This one, so I'll have to download the data again. Crap, I have to close the old data. Don't save. Okay. So this is precinct. Okay, that one's a 67. This is precinct 3040. Okay. Ah, crap. Equals this divided by this. Okay. So I'm just going to look at the Democratic percentages. Now, what did I say? 3040? Okay, this one 50.3% to 49.7%. Okay. So, a huge increase from the 32% that Kamala Harris had last time. Now, that is huge. I'm kind of interested in see what some of these more Republican ones are. 78, 75, 78. So let's look at this 78 one here. So that one, 3286. Okay, 3286. So Remet only got 24% there. So this area right here is not going Democrat. So there's no swing really there. Okay. So there's nothing really there. Yeah, but this, I mean, it's over, guys. It's over. Are they calling it yet? They're not calling it yet. This is over. I mean, if the only thing reporting, unless there's a situation like we had in, what was it, Georgia, where they weren't calling, like the precincts were being staggered. I'm not seeing that happening here. So again, if you're Democrats, really good result. The only bad thing for Democrats is turnout is really, really low. It's a very low turnout race. The good thing about that is that you have the most motivated voters, which means that the low propensity voters are Republican, and their likelihood of turning out for a midterm is much lower. So let me see what some people. Okay. All right. So I think we're going to close it up for the night, because it does look like we do have a win here. This is definitely a win for the Democrats. I'm kind of surprised that with the amount of precincts there are, they have not called it yet. Unless they're doing some sort of staggering. I don't think so. I think let's see, what do they say? Like, they got 54% reporting, which maybe there's something going on. That I'm wondering if we're getting all of the I'm wondering if they're actually counting. I usually have a precinct, you're only going to have, they already did early vote and vote by mail. On election day, you're only going to have one polling location at a precinct. In fact, some precincts share polling locations. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm going to end it now anyway. I need to catch up on all my travel videos. There like some YouTubers Gabriel Traveler, Planes, Trains, Everything, Scott Marsh. I need to catch up on all my videos from them. Um, yeah. So, was there could be a weather thing going on. So that's a good point. Thank you for making that point. Could it be a weather thing? Possibly. Yeah. Which actually would be better for the Democrats as well if they're willing to go out in really bad weather. But I don't know what the weather is like there. Here the weather has been, well, we had a few days of snow, and it's still, we had like about a foot and a half of snow, and it's not going anywhere. My polling place in North Fort Worth was packed. Interesting. Actually, I'm kind of interested to see what the highest turnout precincts are. Equals this divided by this. Yeah, so I wonder if they're not doing all of them now for some reason. Because I'm sorry, but this 54% is really low. Like shockingly low, I think. With only a handful of precincts in North Fort Worth, Haltom City, and then Arlington over here. That's like shockingly low. Let's see what the top decent. Okay, 1067. Well, I don't even know where to look at that. 1067, precinct 1067, wherever the hell that is, had a 28.6% turnout rate. Okay. So this will give you an idea. I think now we will start seeing turnout rates. Oh, come on. Insert. Now we're still not really seeing anything. But the places where the highest turnout rates that we see, right? I was just looking at doing a regression on it, and we're not really seeing anything. But I'm just, because some are not. So like the 1076, wherever the hell that is, it has the highest turnout rate right now at 28.6%, and it went 77% for Ramet. Okay. The next biggest one, 1108, had a 25.7% turnout rate. It went 71.3% for Ramet. But then you go to like the one that had the fifth largest turnout rate, 3433, and that went with 22.5% turnout. That's 45.2% for Ramet. So here's the thing, he's not reducing. Oh wait. Okay. No. So they do have more centers coming in. So they must have multiple per. Jeez, this is gonna take off. Okay. See voting centers reporting. I didn't see that. Okay. Jesus Christ. It's gonna be a long night, isn't it? Okay, no, wait. So let's all these haven't reported yet. Okay. So they are kind of doing what the Georgia thing is. We only have 28. Okay. But still, oh man, we're gonna be here forever. And people are talking about it being cold, like here right now. What is it? It's 18 degrees. That's warm. Okay. So, oh, I could have just found a precinct here. Which one did I say? 1076. Yeah, but where is it on the map? That's what I want to find. Screw it. I mean, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay awake. I mean, we'll wait till 11 o'clock. It's insane that it's taken them this long to count a special election. Take 4 hours to count a special election. Though we are talking about Texas, we are talking about a big district. Yeah, because the temperature like today was like 6 like this afternoon, and it's actually warmer now than it was earlier today. Yeah, they are going slow as molasses. They are. They are. Okay, so good question. Okay. I mean, realistically, we can't lose this, right? I don't see that happening with what we have now. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Okay. And that's what I always tell people. We don't know until 100% of the votes are in. But the trends that we're seeing right now, I mean, let's just, Christ. It's this blue here. This blue going all the way up to the top of the county. We're talking about this whole area is blue. I don't see it happening. I just do not see it happening. Yeah, if they're reporting hourly, I mean, I might just end the stream now. So I just don't see from what we're seeing right now how it's gonna go the other way. Um, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Like look at that. Look at how many we have so far. Election day, we got 8,000. I mean, that number should be around at least 37, 38, 40. It's just, see, and another advantage, like I guess I don't know, is I've really traveled the United States. The only state I have not been to is South Dakota. So I've been to the Dallas metro area a number of times. So I don't know Tarrant County as much as I do Dallas County. I'd like to know more about Denton as well. Well, no, I mean, see, here's the thing is I'm very much, talking about Silver and Lichtman. I'm not into the predicting business, right? I'm more into the here and the now business. What do the numbers say? What do they say now? What are the trends that we see? Whereas, I think Nate Silver is more um, into predictions. I'm not a predictions person. Well, I want to go to South Dakota. I'm gonna go to South Dakota because it's the only state I have left. I need to hit all 50. So I have to go to South Dakota. Oh, okay. 1076 is just southwest. Oh, I always want to scroll in. Jesus. Just southwest of downtown. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. What did Kamala Harris get in this one? Okay. What's going? Jeez. Come on. What's going on? Okay. Is this. Wait. 1076. I think that one's it, right? Yeah, so that one that 1076 with the highest turnout, Kamala Harris won 63%. I think Ramette has what, 77%? So it'd be interesting. Yeah, right here. So Ramette has 246 votes, Kamala Harris has 519. So he's almost at 50% of what Kamala Harris had. Whereas the Republican only has 71 votes, where Donald Trump had 296. So that's interesting. Okay, I think that I think these numbers, now that I put them in, are based off the presidential election results. And if they are, then Donald Trump won this district 57.45% to 41.05%. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. I forgot. I changed these to the gubernatorial numbers. So 58, I mean, it's not much difference. 58.1% for Trump, 40.61% for Kamala Harris. So yeah, so we'll keep up till 11. I'll keep this going till 11, and at 11 we'll shut it down. Like I said, the nice thing about today is I don't have to work tomorrow. It is nice. It is nice having an election on the weekend. So yeah. I haven't played Hearts of Iron much lately, honestly. And I guess I'm getting bored with it lately because I'm playing Germany mostly. I used to play the United States a lot because you just had all those factories in the you had all those factories and you had like the Navy. You had unlimited fuel, so you could just train your Navy and get all those points. But now they've changed like some of the stuff I don't like in Hoi 4. See, I do think that if I do go to Australia, I want to go during an election. Um, I want to go, have the democracy sausage, the sausage sizzle. I want to experience an Australian election. I can't vote in it, but I want to experience it. Definitely. No, I'm not a late. Well, you know what? It all depends on where I live. If I live in a city, I can be out late. But if I don't live in a city, I go to bed at I go to sleep at like 9:30, 10. I shouldn't say that. I kind of chill for a night and then just watch travel videos um the rest of the time. No, but see, yeah, see, because right here it says 9:50 or 9:54 p.m. The last one did say 8:54 p.m., right? So I think we are getting hourly updates, which is really, I mean, really, guys? I still have Hearts of Iron 3 on my Steam, actually. I've not played it. I mean, I've been playing it ever since the original Hearts of Iron. I kind of like Hearts of Iron 2. That was my favorite one. It was kind of like Hearts of Iron 3 was cool, and then Hearts of Iron, which was hardly out before they changed Hearts of Iron 4. Then when you really go from Hearts of Iron 2 to Hearts of Iron 4, it's like, holy shit, this is too complicated. There's too many moving parts. Oh, really? There's an election simulator. That's the only thing I don't like about the American part of Hearts of Iron 4, when you have to deal with Congress and um spend all your PP on trying to persuade Congress. Though I've come to the point that I don't do that. Like there comes to a point, there's like one thing that you just like, I guess it's like the two C's, they or one of them that's like, eventually you don't need Congress anymore. You can just say screw Congress, I don't need them. I'd go to Victoria. I have a friend. I have a friend in Victoria. He actually was involved with Utah politics. Um, I'd like to go to Victoria. Not huge into going to Sydney. Maybe go to New South Wales. But I'd like to go to Victoria. That's the main thing. Um, so Che Frickster, thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Um, Trump hears you on that one. He doesn't like dealing with Congress either. Uh, true. Yes, use all his pee for Congress. Um, yeah. So Australia is a place I really do want to go to. That is on the list of places. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait to see if they got a 10:54 update, and if they do, we'll look at that. Then we're gonna go ahead and call it for a night because this stream is 4 hours old almost. Um, yeah. I mean, I would go. I mean, I want. I mean, honestly, I want to go to. I want to get a car. I'd love to get a Ute. And travel across Australia. And what were they? It was like there was a Chevy version of it. What was it? there was like a Holden Ute, like the Holden Utes. I don't know if they still make them, but I wanted to take like a Holden Ute and then drive around Australia. I guess start at Sydney, go down. I think I need to go to Melbourne to get the ferry or the boat over to Tasmania. Go there, go to Hobart and all that. Go back to Melbourne, then go through South Australia, go across that long ass part, go into Perth. I don't know how easy or hard it is to go north. I kind of would miss Alice Springs. I'd like to go down there. I do want to go to the place where Patty Moriarty was missing, and I guess the lady who does the meat pies there now it's like a Sweeney Todd almost type thing. If you don't know, if you're not from Australia, the whole Patty, Holden Commodore, that was it. Right. If you don't know about the whole Patty Moriarty thing, check that thing out. It is, they have it on Netflix, but not on American from Netflix. So you actually have to get a VPN to go to get like British Netflix. So then go up there and then go through, you know, go to the northern part of Queensland, then come back down, then end in that. But I do want to go when I do go to from Sydney to Melbourne. I want to go through Canberra, and then I want to go through the parts of Victoria where the Black Saturday fire was. Well, I mean, were there any fires? Because I know Australia, you guys just, there are Australians in there. You guys just had record heat in Victoria a few days ago, didn't you? It was like the hottest recorded heat since Black Saturday, right? I know that it was pretty bad. But yeah, go through Marysville and all those and look at all those little communities that were affected by the fires, right? So that's where I'd like to go. Oh, did she concede? If you got a link to that, that would be awesome. If anyone's saying Whamsgans, is that how you say it? Oh yeah, the Black Summer. See, the Black Summer one was like the pictures that came out of there were like insane. You didn't really have the bad pictures come out of I think there were some bad pictures coming out of Bendigo. I know that it hit like what, the western side of Bendigo or something like that. See, this is what I'm telling you. I really want to go to Australia. I love Australia. I can talk about Australia stuff all day long. Yeah. Let me see. Did she concede? It makes sense because it's like I don't see her winning. Yeah, she has. Okay, here it is, right here. Texas State Senate Republican candidate Lee Whamsgans has conceded, told her supporters will be back in November. So there it is. It's done. It's over. She conceded. It's a win. It's a flip. I mean, when those first votes came in, I'm like, we're going to win this. But there we are. There's the official word. There's the official word right there. So there we go. And that's just from 2 minutes ago. Though I would say, maybe I'll do a video about this tomorrow. Maybe I'll make a video about it tomorrow. But I wonder if Ballotpedia is like updating. No, they're not. I might do a video again. Go to my election history channel. If you're into election history, you can see like the videos. I'm just going to do a I got my Alabama election one I just uploaded. Ford versus Reagan. I did Howard Dean. I did RFK's campaign. There's my Paul Wellstone. All of these that I've done so far. Check out my channel there. That's what I'm going to be working on. But that's great. So yeah, I don't think no, Taylor, I don't think Taylor pulled a Doug Jones. Okay. Taylor didn't pull Doug Jones. First of all, his Republican opponent isn't a pedophile. Okay, that's a first thing. Second of all, Tarrant County is way more Democratic than the state of Alabama was when Doug Jones won. Okay, so yeah, so all those into account, this is good. Though I do want to see how many total votes we actually do eventually get in, but it looks like we're not going to find that out tonight. Might not find that out until tomorrow. So the fact that she's conceded, that officially ends it. That's an impressive win. That's an impressive win. Nope, like I said, to me, and we don't know yet, to me, there are two things that had to have happened today. The first one was the Democrats had to win. The second one is that the turnout had to be around 150,000. The fact that the turnout is not even near 150,000 makes me say you still don't put money into Texas because you're winning lower turnout elections. Okay, as I mentioned before, the original turnout rate was 118,000 for the primary. And if the primary runoff's not even going to be near that, you can't glean a lot. You can't look a lot into that. However, you can look into this result. The fact that Ramette got 47.6% is an impressive result. Okay. So, yeah, this is it. It's done. So yeah. No electoral denial nonsense. Yeah, I mean, I think that's more of a Trump thing and his Trump lackey things. Texas hasn't gone full Florida yet, which is good. So yeah. Oh, Kevin Rudd resigned as Australian ambassador to the U.S. I didn't even know that. So see, I haven't caught up on everything in Australia yet, mostly because I've been working on my history channel. No, I didn't know that. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and end this for today. Thank you all very much for joining me. It was a 4-hour day. Was not expecting this. Was hoping that they would have the votes counted a little bit faster. But maybe I'll do an election video tomorrow, recapping if we got a lot more data in, recapping what's going on in Texas. Good sign for Democrats. Would not say it's 100% what you want. You want to like that Afton Bain race. She really pulled, what was it, a 7% swing, but with the turnout the same as it was in the last midterm election. That's kind of what you want to look at to see if things are going the way of the Democrats, but this is a really, really good result nonetheless. All right. So, thank you all very much. It was great. And I think we'll do the live streams from now on. We might not do the regular videos, but we will do live stream election coverage. I think, that's where this channel, at least for now, until maybe August, is going to be. I can do a live stream at night. It doesn't really take away from what I do from the other channel. All right. So thank you all very much. I'll see you later. Have a good day, night. I know some of you are already